Game-winning three. Loss knocked the Warriors from 6th to 7th in the Western Conference. Next up for the Spurs, the Suns in Phoenix tomorrow night. Former Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden paid a visit to the Dallas Cowboys today. Boys looking for another wide receiver to line up opposite CeeDee Lamb.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagle, I'm Jason Minix. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It is a Thursday. Another beautiful day in San Antone.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
Like you would know.
It's gorgeous. Well, I actually walked from the car to the station, so it was beautiful at that time.
Coming across the parking lot, it was incredible.
I just enjoyed the, the blue skies, the birds singing.
Uh-huh.
Kids outside playing, all that kind of good stuff.
I want you people to know, we had maybe our quietest show prep meeting in the 3 years that Reinagle's been a part of the Blitz. Reinagle barely looks up from his phone. He is glued to the Masters coverage.
Uh-huh.
Quite frankly, I'm not sure how he's going to get through the next 4 hours.
I'm not sure either. I'm glad Pledge has it on the TV there in his little glass box.
All of a sudden, because we always talk about this story, that story. Did you see this? Listening to audio that Pledge has been cutting up, and then all of a sudden I'll hear a, "Whoa!" What happened? Oh, you should see this shot.
Dude.
And part of it is the lack of TV coverage this time of year with the cable system that we have inside the building.
Well, I don't understand ESPN, and I saw an article earlier today. The cover. Why is this not on ESPN? Why are they not blowing this out? We would rather look at Laura Rutledge interviewing some dude that was in Top Gun.
Now, most of the time you would say yes, but not when there's the Masters coverage. But it's all on ESPN Plus, right?
It's not, though. There's not a main feed on ESPN Plus. You have to pick. You get your choice of 4, 5, and 6, the holes, or Amen Corner, which is 11 and 12.
Featured groups.
That's it, or featured groups, Scheffler and Matsuyama. So that's all you get. So you got to pick your spots.
Now, I can say that this morning on my Magic Box, I was watching all kinds of things. Well, and you were watching on your phone, even though you have a Magic Box, you forgot to utilize.
I did. I forgot.
Power in which you have in controlling what you're watching.
Well, I won't forget that again. I'm still learning the Magic Box. But I won't forget it again. But that kind of irritated me. I won't lie to you. And I'm a little upset because, I told you yesterday, right? I put $25 on Jordan Spieth.
Here we go.
The guy starts out like a house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
2 under par, playing well. Right now he's through 14 holes. He's +2.
There goes your 25.
It's irritating as hell. It really is. And now my computer just died.
Yeah, well, because you
I didn't plug it in.
It did, didn't it?
So, it's been one of those days, Minix, all right?
The day has been fine. You have been a little distracted.
Right, hold on.
Oh, you got to run down the hall and grab your – it's right there in your bag.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Just even setting up to get ready for the show. A little distracted today. I mean, generally speaking, you get distracted like that if you're watching golf tips from our friend Paige, not from something like this. So, yeah, plug it in, get a little bit of juice. Look at that. Those watching on YouTube, you get to see Reinagle. It looks like he's changing a tire.
There it is. No, that would be ugly. Uglier.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, this weekend, and Vince Trevino on our YouTube channel, Paramount Plus, that's this weekend. So ESPN gets the first couple of days, Thursday, Friday, then CBS and Paramount will take over on the weekend. And, Christopher Summers, who's really turned into one of the more positive commenters lately. I mean, everything is just such a positive, fresh breath of fresh air from Christopher Summers here lately. He said golf is 100% boring.
Well, he must not play golf.
Golf in person versus golf on television.
Well,
so you are 100% golf.
I'm a golf geek when it comes to stuff like this, especially the Masters, which is like the Super Bowl of golf.
I'll watch the majors, and honestly, just everything about the Masters, I'm all in. I can't even say that I'm all in on all the majors like I am the Masters. There's just something special about the Masters. Outside of that, random golf on a Sunday, nothing else better be on. Or Twitter says, man, there's a great finish, and I'll jump over. But typically on a Sunday random tournament, I'm not watching golf all weekend like Ryan Eagle is.
Well, I don't do it all weekend, but I'll keep up with certain players and see what's going on. I like to keep up with what's happening because the beauty of golf and the changes that they've made is that, there is a playoff at the end of the year. So you have to be, within the top 75, I think, of everybody to get into the playoffs. It's fantastic.
Huh?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
So AD says that he was watching on Paramount, so maybe it was on Paramount.
Okay.
Since that is a CBS-owned
I saw it on ESPN
deal.
Plus. Although on the Magic Box, you have everything that you could possibly want.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
If you remember to actually go there.
I forgot about it. It's all good.
So you go through and you're all in. Are we done with the playoff stuff? Because I have no idea.
We're done with the playoff stuff.
Tell me when it's good. Now, playing golf, I suck at playing golf too. But I like to get out there on the golf course, drink beer, hang out with the dudes, smoke some cigars. That's fun.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's fun. But I'm one of these guys I enjoy. And obviously I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people.
Oh, sure.
I mean, CBS pays a lot of money to have this on.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of us out there. I got guys that, another thing, guys at the gym, they're telling me that if you listen to this golf channel on Sirius XM.
Uh-huh.
And they're telling me what they're saying, and I'm like, I'm not even that big of a geek. I don't get it. Said you ought to listen to the Blitz, 2 to 6, 94.1.
Yes. Well, look, if you want like in-depth golf talk, we're not the show for you. We're not. I can't do it, and I don't even think Ryan Eagle could.
No, I couldn't.
I remember years ago we had a chance, and we did it. We carried the Masters on this here radio station.
Really?
It was god-awful.
I can't even imagine that.
Granted, it was far better than listening to NASCAR radio.
I can't even imagine.
Uh-huh.
And as big as a golf fan as I am, listening to a golf tournament on the radio.
Hello, friends.
Well,
no, I mean, it was, I don't know. Tell me the stories. I like watching it. And I'm generally, in a lot of cases, would prefer to listen to the radio broadcast of a sporting event than the TV broadcast. But television and golf, especially at the Masters, you got to have it.
No, you can't. You have to.
Give me updates on who's leading and go from there.
Yep, absolutely. It's beautiful.
It is.
It's gorgeous. I mean, you look at that golf course. You have to appreciate the beauty.
The people driving around right now
Augusta
on
National
151 and Petrenko are sitting there going, yeah, it's gorgeous, Joe.
Well, think about it. People driving around on 151 and 410, green grass, beautiful flowers. The trees are tall.
Uh-huh.
I'm painting the picture, Minix, or I'm trying to.
Well, I mean, you could have described the hill country with that, let alone hill,
I don't look at that
Augusta.
shot. A few clouds in the sky, but otherwise beautiful blue skies. Yeah, it's sand
I think
traps
that's called
all around
partly
that.
Cloudy.
All that beautiful. Yeah, that's a weatherman term. All
Well,
right. Partly cloudy.
huh.
Come on.
Yeah. David Umflett on YouTube. Watching golf is like dating. Only the final round is fun.
What do you mean by that,
I
Dave?
think you know exactly what that means.
The final round, huh?
Yeah.
Is that when you get to the 18th hole?
Yeah. I mean, you're either going to knock in that putt or you're not.
Yeah.
You don't want a bogey.
Oh, I had a thought in my head.
I
But
know.
I'm going to
Save your job?
I'm going to save. Yeah, I'm going to just leave that one right there in the.
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Leave that one there in the old noggin.
Oh, my goodness. Last night, watching the Mavs and Lakers, I still don't know what the hell the Mavs are doing. Let's talk about the emotional scene last night in Dallas and Luka just going off against his former team. Coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Join us for San Antonio's premier Fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You can always be a part of the show. Twitter, Instagram, at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. You can always comment on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You could always call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, especially if you're a Dallas Maverick fan. Because I can try to put myself in your shoes, but I can't imagine being a Dallas Maverick fan right now, feeling so betrayed by your team. And look, as a longtime Cowboy fan, I get it. No matter how much a team pisses you off, you can't divorce them. You can be mad, but you're not getting divorced. But what we saw last night, my goodness.
Well, it'd be like it with Cowboys would have traded, I don't know, Emmitt Smith or in his prime now, or I don't know, Michael Irvin. You've been pretty upset by that. And then got nothing in return. That might have been grounds for divorce.
I mean,
or Troy Aikman, let me put it that way.
I mean, this is worse or akin to Bill O'Brien sending DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona for a bag of chips and a Diet Coke. I mean, trades happen, the business side happens, but get max value. But you could just tell Luka loved Dallas. He did not want to get traded. So if you tried to come up with a narrative in your head that, when they took that beer from him, it was a bad look and, he made a demand, whatever. No, that dude just built a house there. I was listening to Tim Collishaw. He was on with Clinton Yates this morning here on 94.1 saying, dude, he just built a $15 million house a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was going to be a career Dallas Maverick on his way to getting a statue out there next to Dirk and Mike Madonna. And in the middle of the night gets blindsided by the trade. And again, they traded Luka. So he's playing his first game back in Dallas. And the T-shirts and the video, it was weird. It was weird. What are they doing? You guys got rid of this guy.
Well, they thought by doing all of that stuff, it would appease the fans. See, we loved Luka. He was great here. Look at all the memories he gave us, but now he's gone. Dude, it was ridiculous. Truth be told, I didn't see it live, but I had to go back and watch, and I watched it about 3 times today. The video and the emotion and all of that stuff. Luka's heart is broken.
Yeah.
It's broken. I mean, seriously, I don't know how else to describe that. That guy did not want to leave Dallas.
He started welling up, and then after the game talked about his pregame emotions.
Well, it was a little bit of both, happy and angry, but, it's nice to see some familiar faces here. I spent a lot of times with them. But like you said, it was a lot of emotions. When I woke up, I was tired. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't sleep much. I was excited about this game, and I really appreciate the fans, the way they reacted to me.
And they love him. I saw a bunch of Laker jerseys in that building last night. It was 77 on there.
Well, and again, I mean, immediately after the game, on the court when he was doing the interview with ESPN, he admitted he almost wasn't going to be able to play.
I don't know how I did it, because when I was watching that video, I was like, there's no way I'm playing this game. But, all my teammates had my back. They were really supporting me, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy cried. I mean, let's say what it is. He did. And again, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but the guy's heartbroken. Did not want to leave Dallas. Loved playing for the Mavericks, and wanted to be there his entire career. And so he was as blindsided as the rest of us when this trade was pulled off. And I'm just happy he went out and he did play, and he dropped 45 on the Mavericks last night.
You know, the higher or lower on underdog was 30.5.
Uh-huh.
And I took that higher.
Yeah.
And it turned green at halftime.
Yeah.
You knew he was going to have a game like that. Or I felt like he would have a game like that. Although the emotional part of everything, maybe. I mean, the night before, emotions got him kicked out of a game. You wonder, and again, obviously we saw the game that he had, and he showed Nico amongst, the fire Nico chants that were loud and clear. And apparently, even though they do a really good job, some sneaky Maverick fans were able to get signs in that spelled out fire Nico. The chants were so loud coming through the television, and then all the people that were posting them on social media. There is a video of Mark Cuban that's rolling around today. All the chants of fire Nico. And Mark Cuban just kind of has his head down, and he shakes it, and he looks up. And you almost wonder with Mark Cuban if he regrets at this point selling part of the franchise. Now, I know that guy made a whole lot of money in that sale. And he has said he knew his kids didn't want to run it. They didn't want to run it, had an opportunity, cashed in. But when he sold it, it was with the understanding that he was still going to run basketball operations. And there was no way in hell Mark Cuban would have signed off on trading Luka, especially for the deal that they got. And it feels like Mark Cuban, very vocal about disagreeing with the reasons why they wanted to get rid of Luka. But you watched that video last night, and it was all the great moments with Luka. It was emotional. I mean, Luka welled up. I imagine every Maverick fan welled up. I mean, you can't be a human being and not well up a little bit, but what are the Mavs doing? I mean, that'd be like you get a divorce and your ex-wife puts on a highlight film of your greatest moments together while she's, I don't know, with a new guy. I don't want to watch that. Screw you. You got rid of me.
Yeah,
right?
I tell you what, it was it's just a weird deal. And Mavericks, and all this did last night was just inflame Maverick fans' anger all over again. I mean, that's all it did. So Luka's out. The Lakers are headed to the playoffs. They got a real shot at making a big run. The Mavericks are going to get into the playoffs, but anybody give them a shot to do anything? I certainly don't.
No.
It was one of those boneheaded things. I find it funny, and I haven't seen this guy on our YouTube page before. I'm glad you're there, Manuel. He's saying the NBA forced their hand to make that trade happen. He says LeBron is near the end and they needed a replacement for the Lakers. That couldn't be farther from the truth of anything. Look, I know that LeBron is the golden child of the NBA, but they're not going to force a franchise to make a trade like that. So I'm not sure where you get your info from, Manuel, but
conspiracy theories and black helicopters.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, there was a time where Chris Paul was going to end with the Lakers, and the commissioner said no, right? So Lakers do seem to get what they want. Right now, they're betting odds the favorite to land Joker when he leaves for his next team. It's the Laker way. But no, the NBA didn't force that. And in today's world, especially when you look at European players, they don't give a damn about market size. They're global regardless. And the way the world is now, I mean, market size does matter to a degree, but for these guys to make that endorsement money, it's not about playing in New York or L.A. Think about everything that Wemby has in his portfolio now in San Antonio. Look at SGA and everything in his portfolio out of Oklahoma City. Market size when it comes to that doesn't matter in today's world. 25, 30, 50 years ago, sure, it did. It doesn't anymore. And no, the NBA didn't orchestrate this behind the scenes. We're not talking about the WWE by any stretch.
I don't know why they would, because LeBron's nearing the end of his career. That makes absolutely no sense that they would blow up a team, blow up a fan base to make LeBron happy?
Well, it wouldn't be for LeBron. It'd be for the Lakers and protecting the L.A. market and making sure the Lakers are always going to have a superstar player. And I could see where you would have that theory, to be honest, but it is so far-fetched and out there. I think JT Jimenez on our YouTube chat hits the nail on the head. Mavs didn't want to pay the max contract to Luka, and that's it. They questioned that guy's conditioning and leadership and a supermax deal. They didn't want to pay him. And that was evident when they took a beer out of his hands last year during the postseason. And they were trying to be, good cop, bad cop with that guy and turn him into a leader. I don't know. Dude, he's where would you rank him? Top 5 in the world as a basketball player?
At this moment? Absolutely.
Who cares if he's a little out of shape? Right?
It doesn't matter. The guy's out of shape, and he still can roll out 45 points on his former team. He can still drag the Mavericks into the finals pretty much single-handedly. I mean, it makes no sense. And all of that BS that he's out of shape and he drinks beer and he smokes and whatever, it's ridiculous. All of that is ridiculous. This is an ownership group that came in, hired a GM that I think was forced by the ownership group to get rid of Luka Doncic. I can't imagine that this GM is that stupid. And because of that, I think it's a huge deal not wanting to pay the max contract. And it's just one of the dumbest trades I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, especially when you don't get max value in return. I mean, if you were to say, look, there's some issues that we have internally with Luka and his team, and we're not going to give that guy a supermax, so we've got to move him. Although they don't really ever say the truth. You look at Joker. He's not exactly chiseled. That dude likes to party. His brothers are crazy. But you know what? Denver's going to pay that guy. And, with this whole Malone thing, and we'll get into it in a bit, he could force his way out. Lakers are the odds-on favorite to land him, but so are a couple of teams from his homeland. Like the Joker's the kind of guy that would be like, screw the NBA. I've got enough money in the bank. I'm going home. Remember, that guy didn't want to stick around for a parade. He was ready to go home.
Isn't he a horse guy?
Yeah, he's got all kinds of. I mean, you just look at it and you sit there and it's just mind-boggling what they did the Mavericks with Luka. I feel bad for Jason Kidd because I see Jason Kidd speaking, and I know the words that he's saying because as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, he's in a rough position. As far as the tribute video, he's glad that that's out of the way.
It was incredible. It was the fans were great. The tribute was great. Luka's performance was great. It was great. That's who Luka is. I've said that as when he was with the Mavs. He's one of the best players in the world, and he displayed that again tonight.
Yeah, he did. You regret getting rid of that guy?
Well, it wasn't his call.
No, I have a job to do, and that's to coach the players that are in that locker room. We've gone through the groceries, right? So the guys in that locker room, I got to put them in a better position to win, and I just didn't do that tonight. We're getting healthy. We're getting off a minute restriction, and so we have 2 games left to get things going in the right direction before we play Sacramento. And so that's all we're worried about, understanding all the emotions and all the attention on this game. This game is over. There's nothing we can do. He's not coming back as a Mav. He's with the Lakers, and so we have to move forward, and that's what we've done.
Look, Jason Kidd couldn't have been happy about this trade any more than anybody else was, but what's he going to do? He's the coach of this team, and he's got to do what the ownership group does. I mean, he didn't have a say-so in this, so his attitude's great, at least publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be that way, right? Hey, it's over. It's done. There's no more crying about it. We got to move on and try to figure this thing out now with the guys that we have. So he's in a tough spot, but he had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all to do with it. I feel bad for guys like Anthony Davis, and I feel bad for some of these other guys, the players there. They've had a lot of injuries. The fact that they're still going to be in the playoffs is pretty remarkable. I'll be honest with you, because AD's been hurt, and Lively got hurt earlier in the season. That hurts them.
Kyrie's probably out till
Kyrie's out
next Christmas.
That's what I mean. So I mean, these guys, the fact that they're still going to play in the playoffs, I think Jason Kidd's done a pretty good job of keeping this team together and playing well.
And even if the Mavericks ownership group did fire Nico this offseason, it doesn't change much other than a bunch of fans would be happy because this organization, while still competitive, and Nico wasn't wrong, I guess, when he said that they still wanted to be able to compete for a championship when they made the trade. Kyrie was still healthy. You add in an Anthony Davis, but those guys are aging. And who out there is willing, besides Nico Harrison, to bet money, to put money on the fact that Anthony Davis is going to stay healthy for an entire season and lead you through the postseason?
He's not.
And then Kyrie at his age. And you didn't get enough in return to build for the future. Again, the trade makes no sense, and it will forever be on Nico Harrison's resume.
It will, and it's a stain, a big black, brown, gooey stain.
Gooey, huh?
Yeah. It's horrible, and it stinks. Because they just get gooey and sticky and stick all over everything. Yeah, it's a sticky one, that's for sure. Just horrible. And, look, Luka's going to be just fine. He'll keep his $15 million house in Dallas, and he's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to go on and have a great career. But the guy, I mean, what I saw last night is these guys do have feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They do, and they care about where they're at. They care about the community they're living in. They care about their teammates. And Luka Doncic was that last night with the emotion that he showed.
When you see that raw emotion, and it was, again, I just thought it was weird. You got rid of this guy. You traded him. He didn't ask to be traded. He wanted to be there for his entire career, right? I mean, this guy played in Oklahoma City the night before. Who knows what the time they got to Dallas, but he was thrilled that he got to go home and sleep in his own bed.
First of all, I could sleep in my bed, but then just to be back with the fans that I spent 6.5 years with, supporting me like that was just unbelievable for me.
Yeah. Just so bizarre.
It's completely bizarre. I'll never understand it, but it is what it is.
Now, some star players get traded away, and it makes sense. Like when Houston parted ways with Deshaun Watson. You talk about bad trades, although this one was good for Houston, bad for Cleveland, but Deshaun Watson says he's not done yet. We'll hear from him. Coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys over 40, you need to know about this website, fixmylowt.com. That's where you need to go if you've been running out of energy, get tired easily. You need Synergenics. They're all about helping men feel their best with TRT, also known as testosterone replacement therapy. Synergenics has clinics all over San Antonio. You can walk in, see a real medical provider, and get started. It's simple, no hassle. Guys love Synergenics because treatment plans are made just for you. I'm sure you've seen online TRT services that, are out there where you got to wait to test kits, lab results, meds. Nobody wants to do that, including you. You can go right now to a Synergenics clinic and get it done fast and in person, and it's customized to you. That's the important part. Personalized treatment is key because not every guy has the same testosterone level. At Synergenics, their personalized therapy goes beyond standard treatments. During the month of April, the consultation is free. Treatment is covered by most major insurance. Take advantage of this. It's a super affordable way to check your testosterone levels and change your life for the better. So if you're feeling off, don't wait. Synergenics helps men like you get back to feeling full of energy and ready to take on anything. And if you've just been struggling to lose a few pounds, they can take care of that with prescription weight loss treatments. You know what you need to do. Take control of your health today. Go to fixmylowt.com to book that initial appointment. fixmylowt.com.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G-Defy Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
This ad is brought to you by Care for the Injured, which is not a law firm. Past results don't guarantee future outcomes. Recovery depends on case details. Did you or a loved one take the birth control shot Depo-Provera and later develop a brain tumor? You are not alone. Thousands of women in the U.S. have been affected and deserve compensation. Depo-Provera, a widely used birth control injection, has been linked to serious brain tumors like meningiomas. If you use Depo-Provera for at least a year and were diagnosed with a brain tumor, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Our network of attorneys fight for the rights of women like you, women who were never warned about the risk of birth control shots. Our caring legal team is standing by to help you get the justice and compensation you deserve. The sooner you call, the sooner we can begin working on your case. Call 800-298-5126 now for a free confidential case review. That's 800-298-5126. Call 800-298-5126.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147. 47 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold out San Antonio Association.
Everything that I wanted, only gotta.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Thursday. Have the Masters on TV, of course, Monday. We have our Spring Golf Classic brought to you by Flight by Yingling. The next generation of light beer will be out the Golf Club of Texas for a tournament. Then the after party at the Hangar Bar there on Potranco. You don't have to play in the golf tournament to come out to the Hangar after. And there'll be lots of stuff, free stuff out there. Lots to enjoy. Beer Santa will also be there. It's going to be a good time. Now, we're sold out. And as we sit right now, we are sold out. But it never fails this time of year. There's going to be, life happens. Somebody's going to say, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. We don't really keep a list, a waiting list. Although I just got an email from a guy wanting to know, can he transfer the team or he's going to bail? And I don't know what the answer is. So there might be a team coming open. I have no idea. I've never had that question before.
Can I transfer the team?
Yeah, dude, just give me the names of the and again, I have no idea. So we need 4 names. They show up, they're on the list, they're in. But if this guy does bail, we're going to have that team come open. So call Pledge, and we'll get your phone number and email, and just be ready to stand by if you've got a foursome ready to go. And I don't know that we'll have that. That's called the wait list. And we don't really keep one for this reason. It's a pain in the ass. But I just got this email.
Wow.
Well, it's apparent there's war and peace in this email, but you know, 2 of the guys that are playing, they're related, and there's been a death in the family. They're going to be out of town.
Ah, okay.
All right,
gotcha.
Cool. Another one might have to work. I don't know. Guy's freaking out. We got you. It'll be good.
That's too bad.
And how he got my email, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll go with it.
All right. Well, if you have a foursome and you want to play,
yeah, I'm not sure how we'll handle this, but if you want to get on the wait list that we don't really have, but we're going to create one because I'm making Pledge work today because he's off tomorrow, so might as well. Call Pledge 656 ESPN. Pledge is like, call the main office. No, we're not going to do that. Plus, Nick's not in today.
Why wouldn't you want him to call the main office?
Because we're breaking rules here. So we're just trying to keep it out of the suit's hands.
The problem is we need these checks and balances. So
that's
when
what I
they
mean.
say, I left the message.
All I'm doing is going to have you get their info and send it to Nick, who's in charge of all this stuff. So it's off of all of our plates.
Well, we have somebody at the front desk that literally does that. That's their job. Takes a message and delivers it to Nick.
Well, that's your job between 2 and 6.
When it pertains to this show, right?
Yes.
Or the golf tournament.
Because I'm doing things that we're not supposed to do. And so we're not promising anything. You got your $400 ready to go, and you might be able to jump in to take this guy's team. We'll help you out. Maybe.
Well, see, here's the deal, though, right? I mean, the new team was going to have to not pay us the $400. They're going to have to pay the guy that is bailing out.
No, I think we would refund that guy's money and then get this new money in.
You guys got it figured out. That's way above my pay grade.
I'm just
way above what I give a damn about.
Well,
How
that's
about
it.
that?
Well, mine too. I'm just trying to be nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Because this guy, dude, you've paid, man. But you know, stuff happens.
Sure.
And I would rather have 144 golfers on the course than 140, even though 144 paid.
Right.
You see what I mean?
I got you.
So if somebody else
Sure.
gets to go and have a good time, because trust me, the good time to be had is certainly there.
Well, good luck. I mean, Pledge just got a phone call. I don't know if that had anything to do with the golf tournament or not.
No, he was just calling to tell me that the Spurs covered the point spread last night.
I'm glad that you told us that, because we would not have had any idea that the Spurs won last night.
Wow.
That they covered the 17.
Typically, when you're an underdog and you win the game, you cover the spread.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that's typically what happens.
Not only did they cover the spread, they won on a game winner from Harrison Barnes, a former Golden State Warrior.
How about that? I mean, I saw the highlights.
Yeah, I didn't see the game. I had a friend of mine, Jeff Cena. He sent me a message. That's why you watch. It's like, yeah, dude, I didn't see it. Me neither, dude. That's what TikTok's for. See?
That's why you watch.
Uh-huh. Well, we did say yesterday there's really nothing to watch for.
Well, there's really not. I mean, okay, they won. That's great. They got a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling in their gut. That's about all it does for them.
That's it. I mean, again, I've said it a million times. Organizations tank, players don't. Excuse me. Harrison Barnes, he said he was playing for pride last night. Players do that. Deshaun Watson, I think most of us are just ready for him to go away. Cleveland fans especially. Hell, their owner the other day at the owners' meetings were like, yeah, we took a swung. We swung and missed on that one.
Yep.
Gave up a lot to get him. It didn't work out. Deshaun, though, on his social media, he sends a message. He's going to come back better than ever.
You know, the performance comes when, you know, your back is against the wall. It comes better because you kind of got to really lock in. You know, you don't have anything pretty much to lose. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. You know, everyone's doubting me. You know, everyone don't believe in me. Everyone don't think that I can get back to where I was. But I know and I believe the work that I put in, what I believe in myself, the peace that I've been, you know, channeling these last couple months, I know I'm going to be way better than before. I'm prepared. And I think before I wasn't prepared because, you know, I was kind of going with the flow of how the world was seeing me. But, you know, when you kind of get knocked down to the ground and you got to stand back up and walk through the rain, that brings out another fire, another challenge, another grit that you have inside. And the biggest thing is really just mental. My mentality, the things that I got to deal with the outside and not taking everything personal, like I mentioned before. Taking everything and just bringing it full force and really just standing in front of it, face to face. The challenges, the adversity, whatever comes with it, gonna come with it. But as long as I'm doing it my way, I'm cool. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
What the heck was that? Look, hey, I hope Deshaun Watson was a hell of a quarterback.
He was.
At one time. And then he got into all this massage trouble and all of that stuff, and it just has derailed him big time. But then he landed on his feet in Cleveland, but he just hasn't been able to put it together and stay healthy enough to be the quarterback he once was. So, hey, if he comes back, he comes back. He's only 29 years old. I would love to see a comeback from Deshaun Watson.
You know, I'm
not sure that's going to happen.
I mean, with his injury, he won't be able. I can't. He ain't going to suit up in 2025, right?
No.
So he has missed 66 of the last 85 games over 5 seasons because of injury and suspension. Outside of Deshaun Watson, does anybody think he could actually come back and play at a high level? Think about his suspension. When he did come back and play for Cleveland, when he was healthy, he looked so rusty and not at all like the guy that he was prior to. Now, you could say with all the lawsuits pending and everything that he was distracted, hard to focus. I don't know. Most athletes that get on the field and they can block all that stuff out. You got all that guaranteed money, Deshaun. I appreciate you trying, I suppose, but why? I mean, nobody. What team do you think would actually give him a shot to be a starting quarterback?
I don't know about, that's a good question, but I mean, it's a quarterback-hungry league. if somebody thought Deshaun Watson had a few years left, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers is coming back at 40-something. So, I mean, he'll get an opportunity somewhere. Now, I know that he won't get paid what he's getting paid, and nobody's going to pay him a lot of money, but he'll get an opportunity, I guarantee you.
I don't know. The Cleveland version of Deshaun Watson looked nothing like the Houston or Clemson version of Deshaun Watson. So why, after a couple of Achilles injuries, do you think that explosiveness would be there, the accuracy would be there, the just incredible athletic ability would be there?
I don't know that it will be, but I'm telling you, he will get an opportunity somewhere. If he comes back and works out and shows people that he can still throw the football, somebody will give him an opportunity.
Yeah, good luck to him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Interesting report, and you mentioned this in SportsCenter. The NFL has done something that the NFL doesn't normally do. They have fired not one, not two, but 3 officials.
Yep.
Those guys have to go back to college. More training, more reps. The accountability world, I'm glad to see the NFL is actually doing it. They talk a lot about how they watch film and grade these guys, but they always seem to have jobs. 3 officials have been fired by the National Football League.
I think it's great. There's got to be some accountability. How many times did we sit here on a Monday and complain about bad officiating in an NFL Sunday? It happened, I think, just about every week. I don't know if there was one week that went by where there wasn't something that happened, and some obviously more than others. But I think this is great. I mean, it's like any other job. You don't do your job right, guess what? You get fired. And you got to go somewhere else and work your way back up. And that's what happened to these 3 guys. And, hey, there should be more of that. And maybe officials now will see this, say, hey, well, I guess the NFL is they're serious about it now. I think it's a great move by the NFL, and I think it was necessary.
You know, I'm curious, though, and I don't know how to grade officials from the official management standpoint, because as a fan, I was mad Monday night in the second half the way that game was officiated. I know we're talking college basketball versus NFL, but just in general, speaking of officials. The majority of the calls, and I thought the officials, because of the way they called the first half, they called the second half of the championship game completely different. Although, hard to argue with a lot of the calls. I can't say they were bad calls by rule, but there were some ticky-tack calls. Do you want, and again, if officials are getting held accountable, do they call everything they see? Because we don't like that. But when they miss calls, we don't like that either. So if you're in charge of officials, how do you judge and hold officials accountable on what is a good no call and when you blatantly miss stuff? I honestly, as a fan, what do we really want? I mean, Dean Blandino, and I appreciate the transparency that the UFL offers. You know, Wade Phillips the other day challenged a holding on a defensive back. I thought it was holding. I thought the Brahmas were going to win that challenge. So did the TV announcers. Dean Blandino says, not enough there.
Huh.
Right? Because was there holding? Yes, but not enough there to actually warrant a flag. So when you're judging officials like that, what do we really want as fans?
Well, it's what I was complaining about on Monday night. Let the guys play a little bit. I mean, if there's something blatant, you could call holding on every single play in the NFL if you wanted to.
Yep.
There's holding on every single play when you're talking about the fat guys. They're holding. So you could do that. I'm just saying let guys play. And when it's, you know, especially defensive backs, dude, I don't know how they play football anymore. I mean, with all the stuff that they've got to have rolling around in their dome when they're trying to make a play, I don't know how they play. It's ridiculous. And so I think I would err on the side of letting them play more so than calling everything. And this particular incident, according to the NFL, went by just data of missed calls or bad calls or whatever. I mean, it was just put in a computer, and it's like these 3 guys were the worst.
Yeah, you guys didn't make the cut. You had to score whatever. You know, it's interesting. There's video rolling around today of Bill Belichick coaching at North Carolina. And he had his defensive backs wearing these weird gloves because he's mic'd up and he's like, they're holding on every play from those defensive backs, sometimes twice on the same play. Glove them up. And then these guys, they're wearing these gloves so they can't hold. Now, obviously, you can't play in those because you would never get an interception.
Right.
But I'm wondering why every offensive lineman isn't forced to wear gloves like that because it prevents you from holding.
Well, because, truth be told, quarterbacks want you to hold occasionally.
Occasionally.
It keeps them from getting killed.
Uh-huh.
So I think, again, there's holding on every play. You could call it on every play. And there are other penalties. Let the guys play. That was the worst thing that happened in that championship game the other day on Monday night here at the Alamo Dome. They didn't let them play in the second half where they did in the first half. So I would err on the side of that. And if somebody gets away with something, and we're going to be mad about that too, that guy was holding, especially if it's against your team.
Exactly.
But, it is. I'd rather see the guys play. Let them play football.
But see, and that's it. What do we really want? Because the other night, I don't think there were a lot of bad calls. There were just too many of them.
Yeah.
And
it was night and day from the first half to the second. I think that was a bigger problem. Be consistent.
Well, yeah, how you officiate early needs to be how it's officiated late. I don't think we want to call everything.
No.
Did it impact the play? Then, all right, if there's an impact there, then you got to blow the whistle. If it's away from the play and it doesn't impact the play at all, let it go.
Totally agree with that.
So officiating's a tough job.
It is a tough job. But just be consistent. And I think that's what every athlete would want. Pitchers want that from umpires. If
your strike zone?
Let me get used to your strike zone, but just be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what I'm doing. Same with football, basketball, any sport you're talking about. Just be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever gone hog hunting? Most guys that have gone hog hunting, you understand hogs are nasty.
Mean.
What you never want to do is slap one on the ass. A guy did, and it went about as well as you think. We'll explain coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Keys to Progress in Conservation, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Scientists are conducting experiments to generate clean energy through fusion. Tammy Ma is hoping it unlocks the power of the stars.
It is completely clean. There's no carbon anywhere in the equation. There's no high-level nuclear waste. It could help meet all of the energy needs for the U.S.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up, or when you store. Start with Stable.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Guys over 40, tired of low energy, just not feeling like yourself? Testosterone replacement therapy by Synergenics is the answer. Don't waste time waiting for online services when you can start today. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it is covered by most major insurance. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, see a medical provider, and feel great today. During April, the consultation is free. Why wait when you can be seen now? Book your appointment at FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com. Feel like you again.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Let's get you caught up with what's happening out at the Masters. We got two guys tied for the lead in the clubhouse. That's Corey Connors and Scotty Scheffler. Both of those guys shooting 68s today. Justin Rose, though, is leading the pack, but he's still playing. Through 12 holes, he is -6. Rory McIlroy now at -3 through 9 holes. A lot of great action at Augusta.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Hello, friends.
Little Jim Nantz impersonation there, huh?
You got to watching the Masters.
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Yes.
There's that.
We also know that. I wonder if Nantz is, he's doing this with a heavy heart. His beloved Houston Cougars came up short.
He's on to the next assignment.
You think so?
I
don't know.
Maybe, but you get to the Masters and you just soak it all in. I was reading a long piece on Jim Nantz and his broadcast career. This is his 40th Masters.
40th?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That dude's getting up there then, isn't he?
Well, he's 66.
Okay.
He's been doing this a long time.
Wow.
Was talking about all the memorabilia in his house and the fact that he's got, his house at Pebble Beach, one of his many homes, has a replica hole in his backyard, the par 3. This is incredible. But he wants to get to 50, but if he gets to 55, that'll be the 100th Masters, I believe.
And how many has he done?
40.
40? That's a lofty goal,
well,
Mr. Nantz.
I mean,
You know, his wife is pretty young, too.
He's got young kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, well, God bless him there. I wouldn't want any part of that.
Young kids?
Yeah, no. The young wife?
Young wife, yes.
Well, yeah. Maybe. Not the kids. Done with that.
Some of the grandkids might be, older than the actual kids.
Well, would mine?
Yes.
Oh.
If you were to get a young wife at this point, which you're not, because you've got
not.
a lovely wife now that you cannot screw this up.
Actually, technically, she is a young wife.
Compared to
me.
Yes.
So I'm in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this is...
But she's not having young kids either.
No, she's not. Neither one of us are there.
No.
See, with grandkids, it's fine because they come for a little while and they leave.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those kids that are your own, they stick around.
And cost.
Yes. So, yeah, life is good. So, God bless Jim Nantz. I'd want to work all the time, too, if I were him. Damn. Wait, what's my next assignment?
He took a step back. He stopped doing the Final
I know.
Four.
I know.
Although I find it interesting, he stepped back from broadcasting the Final Four in the NCAA tournament to spend more time with those kids, yet he was at every Houston Cougars game there was. He was just there as a fan. He's not at home with the kids.
No. You don't think they were there?
They might have been.
They might have been.
Although they've got school.
Well, how old are they?
Little.
Well, they can't be that little if they got school.
Well, they're not in diapers. Pledge, can you Google real quick how old are the young kids that Jim Nantz has? Honestly, the article that I just read about him just described him as young kids.
Young kids, okay. Well, that could be anything, right?
Well, I think
under 10, maybe.
They still live at home.
Would that be considered young kids? Under 10, anything over 10, I would. It's not necessarily a young kid.
Well, they're young kids at home, I guess, teenagers. I don't know how old they are, but the Google box will tell us as soon as Pledge quickly or not so quickly is able to find that. Maybe.
I don't know. And it really doesn't matter. Jim Nantz was at every game, and I know he was heartbroken Monday night.
His second daughter, Finley, was born in 2014.
Okay.
So 11. And his only son was born in 2016.
So 9.
So young kids.
Yeah, 11 and 9.
And he's 66.
It's like my good friend Barry Davis. Did I ever tell you that story?
Barry Davis from Channel 5?
Yeah, he adopted some kids, but Barry's in his 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And said he was at the grocery store one time. And he was doing some shopping. He's got the kids there, and some lady walked up to him and, "Oh, your grandkids are beautiful." Oh.
All right, now, Pledge, clarify. Jim didn't adopt these kids, right? They
says his first daughter was born in 94.
Well,
that's a previous marriage.
Yes.
Though. Yeah, because I'm not sure his current wife was born in 94.
I love this from the article. Jim's only son was born in 2016, and the circumstances of his birth, if put to analogy, would be equivalent to a team scoring a match-winning touchdown in the last second.
I don't get that. Wait.
Sounds like he beat the buzzer.
It was a road win.
And at Jim's age, just happy the swimmer got there.
They're fighters.
Let's do the headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Now I'm going to read a headline. You guess the state. Man arrested for causing a disturbance outside of Applebee's while wearing a pink thong, pink wig, and fake boobs.
We're guessing the state?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I read the article. I know what state.
It says Florida.
Florida?
Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
Florida. What the hell? I mean, seriously. Night on the town at Applebee's, and there's some goofball out there with a pink thong. What do you have?
Pink thong, pink wig, fake boobs. Now, I'm guessing he wasn't starting his night at Applebee's, but he was trying to end his night at Applebee's, and his night did not end the way he was hoping. And I don't want to know about the party that he was at beforehand.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to dress up in pink thong and fake boobs, free country, especially in Florida.
But not at Applebee's.
Well, I don't know. Applebee's can get kind of crazy.
Apparently not. They called the cops.
Dude, when's the last time
There's a guy in our parking lot trying to come in here. We said no.
When's the last time you were at an Applebee's?
It's been a while.
Well, it has been, and I don't know why. It's solid.
Well, it is. There's not one far from the radio station that, I'm trying to think, lunch a couple of years ago, maybe?
It's not one far from where we live.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm just trying to think. Places like where? I don't know.
There's an Applebee's at the interchange of I-10 and 1604.
I'm trying to think of.
In the hotel?
Yep.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The last time I was at Applebee's, honestly, might have been about 2 years ago. Maybe it was my buddy Wayne Donnelly, his kid Austin, was working at Applebee's, and we went in there because he was a server just to give him a bunch of crap and a generous tip.
Well, that was nice of you.
Well, yeah.
I'll take all the crap if you're leaving some cash.
Well, I mean, first-time server and last-time server. He didn't stay there very long.
Well, I don't know. It's been a long time for me, too, and that's why I say. But, I mean, used to go to Applebee's on a regular basis, but haven't been in a while.
You haven't been hunting in a while either, right?
No, I haven't been.
I go on a hunt trip once a year, and the kind of rule is if you see a hog, take it out because they're nasty.
They're mean.
You want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So there is video of a guy that somehow they had trapped a hog, and it's on an Instagram page, a Hunting the Life Instagram page. Now, this video is funny as hell. Now, first off, they've trapped the hog. So the hog is alive. And for whatever reason, this guy is freeing the hog from the trap. He doesn't take the hog out, which was probably a part of the rules. You see the hog, make it disappear. So this video, and it's funny because you could see him, the hog's laying there, and he's getting his feet taken care of, and now the hog is free to run, but the hog does not realize it is free to run. So this guy, who's wearing zero protection, slaps the hog on the ass to get it to run away. But the hog does exactly what you think the hog is going to do. It starts to attack the guy, and he's trying to climb the tree as fast as he can.
Dude, it's an hilarious video. I guess the guy got out alive. I'm not sure, but he ends up trying to climb the tree, can't do that, and he starts run. He just starts running.
And the video stops.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing somebody put down their phone and picked up their gun.
Maybe it got a little graphic after that. I don't know. But watching the part that's not graphic is hilarious because you just go, you are a dumb donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Funny video.
Yeah,
if you've
it's
been
hilarious.
hunting, you'll get a kick out of it.
It's funny.
If you see a hog in the wild, don't slap its ass.
They'll attack you, man.
Oh, they're nasty.
They're nasty.
They are.
Exactly.
They are nasty. So, Joe, reason 8,412 that you could never be an F1 driver.
I don't know. Pretty good driver.
You might be a pretty good driver, but you have a small bladder.
I do.
An F1 driver named Carlos Sainz, he has been fined because he had to go to the bathroom. Now, the problem here is F1 was getting ready for their race. It was going to start the Japanese Grand Prix. The race was going to start at exactly 1:44. He had to go to the bathroom. So he missed the time where you're supposed to get in the formation lap. Now, he claims he was just 5 seconds late because he was in the bathroom. He got fined the equivalent of $22,409.40, half of which will be suspended for 12 months, assuming he doesn't break the same rules. So he could end up only having to pay $11,000 for the fine. His quote, "I was 5 seconds late. Now I have to pay this money. I don't even know if I'm going to get another fine for saying this, but bleep happens." Now, he could get fined for that because F1 has a rule about drivers swearing. They're not allowed to cuss. So he's probably going to get fined for that, but he's pissed that he had to take a dump before the race. He was 5 seconds late, and it cost him $22,000.
Well, you know what? It was probably well worth it. I mean, can you imagine driving around where you got to stay in that car with poop in your drawers?
Well, I mean, I think they wear some sort of diaper.
Well, yeah, and I think, don't they have a bucket attached to them?
There's something down there.
Something, right?
Like they've got their version of a catheter. Bleep happens.
But then poop is a different story.
Well, that is.
That's a damn shame.
I mean, of all things to get fined for, dude, I had to go to the bathroom. I mean, nature called. Sorry I was late for formation. Barely. But to
5
get fined
seconds.
$22,000?
Wow. Hey. You know what? Poop happens.
It does. It does. Crazy.
Yep.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The Spurs not only covered last night, they got an outright win against the Golden State Warriors, a buzzer beater that most of us didn't see. But we'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sitting here watching the Masters golf tournament, and I was wishing I was at the Golf Club of Texas. You know, because every time I watch golf on TV, I want to go out and play. And I bet there's a lot of you out there listening that are the same way. That's why you need to go right now to golfclubtexas.com and make your tee time. For whatever day you want to go out there, you want to go out tomorrow, just you're looking a little peaked. Call in sick. Go play some golf out at the Golf Club of Texas. And you certainly get out there this weekend as well. It is fantastic out there. If you haven't been to the Golf Club of Texas lately, you really haven't been out there. They've made so many improvements to that golf course. It is unreal. In fact, you're going to walk out there and think you're at a country club. You're not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. It is fantastic. Some of the best course conditions in town because of the improvements that they have made. And their staff out there is going to treat you like royalty. That's what they do. Whether you're playing golf there in the pro shop, they're going to take care of you. After golf, you go into the Tin Cup Bar and Grill, get you some food, some drinks. They're going to treat you like royalty in there. It is just a great place to go. And I know all of you that are watching the Masters or are keeping up with it are wanting to go play golf. Scratch that itch. Get out to the Golf Club of Texas. It is a perfect place to do it. And again, the best way to make your tee time is go to golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. It is the Golf Club of Texas, and you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, or your next tournament like us, on Monday. That's what we're doing out at Golf Club of Texas. Again, those best rates, golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
My wife, she's 13 years my junior.
Yeah. Never mind.
I mean, that's kind of creepy when you put it like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when everybody's adults, 10-year gap's no big deal.
No.
But
Not at
when
all.
you push it back down.
That's funny. Hey, sweetie, remember this? No, I was 2.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
With the Spurs out of the postseason, a way to make watching the playoffs more exciting is with Underdog. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Love playing Underdog, one of the leading sports apps where you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Play the Pick'em game where you go higher or lower on predicted stats like points, assists, rebounds. Create your own entry and have a lot of fun. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using the promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
This is A.J. Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Harrison Barnes, the former Warrior, fades for the win. Harrison Barnes does it in the Bay.
Spurs got a win last night.
How about that?
Yeah. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Don't lie. Raise your hand if you actually saw that. Pledge, it was your birthday. You might have been up, it might have been on, but I know you didn't see anything.
I'm sure Pledge saw it on one of those big screens at the Rue Pub.
Mm-hmm.
I remember laughing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? Well, the fact that it was as close as it was, I mean, you have to believe Golden State. Well, we're 17-point favorites, and San Antonio, and they'll roll over and lay down. And they didn't. They played hard. Good for them. Good for them.
I mean, you think about there was a point in the game. The Warriors led at one point 32-19 with 40 seconds left in the first. And then the Spurs go on this incredible run. And 42-35 with 6:08 left in the second. Then in the third, the Warriors regained the lead, and I thought, okay, it's safe. And I went to bed. Didn't watch much. But when I saw the Spurs making a run, and I wanted to check, see who was Golden State not playing. Because, I told you yesterday, 17 points, take the Spurs. They're not going to get blown out like that. I did not expect them to win the game, though. That's, I mean, and credit to them. I mean, at this point in the year, feel good about yourselves. Seemed like a fun ending if you actually stayed up late enough to watch it. I did not.
Well, I saw the highlights of it. I mean, it was all over the place, right? It's a huge loss for Golden State.
Massive.
I mean, my goodness, they're battling for their playoff positions, and so right now it knocked them out of the regular playoff position and into the play-in. I think they still have a couple of games left to play, but my goodness, that could be the difference of having to play an extra game.
Well, and is that not what's the word I'm looking for? The fun this time of year, play spoiler, screw somebody else's chances.
Yeah.
Because that's all from a Spurs fan perspective. All you could root for is chaos. Again, late game, are you really staying up to watch it? Who knows? Now, they've got Phoenix tomorrow. They have a chance to catch them in the lotto standings, and Houston has their pick. So, I mean, there's the little stuff that you're in the weeds fans can, figure out a reason to watch and something to root for outside of a loss and increasing your chances at the lottery, because that's what it's all about, right? For the Spurs right now, it's as many ping pong balls as there are, whatever your percentages are of getting into the top four and potentially landing the number one overall pick. That's the goal right now for the Spurs. Although it is fun when you're watching the highlights in the morning and you see on SportsCenter they're making the top 10 because Harrison Barnes knocked down a game winner.
And again, I think they do that because that was brutal for Golden State, a brutal loss for them. And that's something that, man, nobody saw coming. I don't care who you are or how big a fan you are. Nobody saw that coming, especially out there. So Golden State, wow, in the 7th spot right now. The Grizz have moved up to number 6.
I'm curious, and this is probably out there and I didn't see it. What is the biggest underdog point spread-wise where the team lost outright? Because 17.5 was such a huge number.
Huge.
That's got to be somewhere in the top 10 of biggest upsets point spread-wise, especially knowing that everybody was playing. I mean, that's the crazy thing about this.
Yeah, and Curry had a good game. Butler had a good game. So it wasn't that those guys sucked last night. They played well. So props to the Spurs for fighting like that. I think that says a lot about the character of those guys that they have. Guys, and the leadership, I think, with Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, that you go out there, have some fun, and do some damage to a team that needed a win there big time.
Well, and, Curry had 30, Butler had 28, but not a lot of other help from Golden State. And if Steph Castle didn't already have Rookie of the Year wrapped up, 21 points last night to have the tied for the lead in scoring because Keldon had another 21 off the bench. All in all, played well. Devin Vassell, though, continues to struggle. 11 points on 4 of 11 shooting.
Yeah, that's not good. Here's what you want to watch. The battle for the bottom is between the Washington Wizards and the Utah Jazz. Both with records right now, they're tied, 17 and 63. So that's the battle, right? Because whoever ends up on the bottom gets the most ping pong balls, right? Between one of those two teams. Right now there are, let me see, there's, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams with a worse record than the San Antonio Spurs.
So the bottom 3 have the same odds for the number 1 pick. Spurs aren't in that category.
No.
But you want, the sliding scale after the bottom 3 on percentages of getting into the top 4, actually winning the deal, and that's what you're looking for at that point. So we'll see. I mean, a couple games left. Their last game on Sunday, they announced today, Fan Appreciation Day. Everybody gets a cool shirt. And
Philly Billy's last game.
Exactly.
How about that? Look, the Spurs could conceivably – Phoenix is thrown up the white flag. They don't give a damn anymore.
Yep.
They've lost 8 in a row, so the Spurs could win that game. And then Toronto sucks too. So they probably win that. They could actually end the season with a 3-game winning streak. It's very possible.
It is possible. Won't mean anything.
No.
But except for feel good about yourself going in to the offseason and the decisions that the Spurs have to make coming up. And what might be the biggest offseason in franchise history?
It's certainly up there, yes.
I mean, when you look at the potential of things to come, you've got your core players with Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Steph Castle. You're going to have a high draft pick, a lottery pick. You've got Atlanta's pick. You have money to spend in free agency. And you're likely to have a new head basketball coach.
Yes.
This offseason is going to be fascinating. And one of those coaching candidates is now available because Denver decided to fire Michael Malone. And there's some fallout from that. Let's talk about that coming up here on The Blitz, here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. You're looking for a place to go watch the Masters. You want to watch the basketball. There's no better place than the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you get into the Rue Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town. I love the fried shrimp. Their burgers are incredible. They got 15 different burgers to choose from. They got a great bison burger. They've got the original Wemby burger, the chicken sandwiches, the hot dogs, the appetizers. Pledge tells me the salads are wonderful. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold out Association.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Wow.
Joe actually knows a song that
I do.
Pledge plays.
Maurice. Oldie but goodie.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio sports star. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Joker here.
Yep.
Because he did talk last night after what's been an interesting 48 hours for those Denver Nuggets after, in a surprise, Michael Malone gets fired. The GM gets fired. They are completely cleaning house there in Denver. Then the Nuggets roll into Sacramento last night. They beat the Sacramento Kings 124-116 because apparently they needed a fire lit under their ass, and it worked.
People say that we are vulnerable, but I think the beast is always the strongest or the most dangerous when they're vulnerable. So maybe he woke up the beast.
I must break you. Dude, I tried to understand what he said. They woke up the beast.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Right? Is Murray still out?
Let me see if he played.
Well, I don't have. They need him back, obviously, if they're going to do anything. But anytime you have Nikola Jokic, you're going to be in this thing, and they're going to make some noise. And I don't think anybody wants to play them in the playoffs. So
he did not. He's still out, but Porter had 21, Gordon had 21, Joker had 20, Braun had 25, Pickett had 18, all five starters in high double figures for a game that was important for Sacramento as well, playing at home. But the trying to figure out what Denver is doing. And Woody Page originally reported the day of the firing that the Joker signed off on this. The Joker says that's not necessarily true.
I mean, I'm not going to say what Josh told me. So, I mean, I knew a little bit before everybody, and he told me, like, we made a decision. So it was not discussion. It was decision, and, he told me why. And so I listened and I accepted, I'm not going to tell what he told me. I'm going to keep that private.
Well, interesting. So Joker had nothing to do with it. He was just told ahead of time that the decision had already been made.
Which is understandable that you would inform your star player that this is the decision, this is the reason why. But they didn't go to him and say, hey, here we're thinking of firing the coach. What do you think? You good with that? Okay, cool. We'll fire him. That wasn't the conversation. The conversation was, hey, we're firing the coach and the GM. Here's why. Okay. And he said he accepted it, right?
Right.
I mean, didn't say he was happy about it. Hard to read body language. It didn't seem like he was overly happy about it, but the decision was made, and he was informed of the decision. There was no discussion.
Now, I wonder, though, if Joker would have said, look, I know you made the decision, but I'd really like to keep Malone. Are you sure? Can we talk about this? And that wasn't done. Would that have changed their mind? I don't know. But you got to wonder if Joker really wanted Malone to stick around, he could have said something.
I think at that point, the decision was made and he knew it. And say what you want about star players, but when the billionaire owner calls you and says, this is what we're doing, and not really asking your opinion, they're still the boss, right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it is interesting when you hear those in an organization, how they refer to different people. Let's use the Cowboys as an example. Most everybody says Mr. Jones, except Steven. And even sometimes Steven will say that, but most times Steven is the only one that says Jerry.
Yep.
Everybody else, whether it's the head coach, players, it's Mr. Jones. There is that respect factor that is in all the sports, and the Joker obviously knows that. If he was asked an opinion, maybe he answers that differently, but he said, no, I was informed of the decision, and I accepted it, because what else was he going to do, right? I mean, yeah, all right.
It's part of the business, right? I mean,
yes.
And you know that coaches get fired, players get traded. I mean, can you imagine? You talk about star players not having any power for anything. Well, you see what happened in Dallas.
Well,
I mean, they don't get. I mean, Joker is. I mean, they're on the same level, right? I mean, so it's unbelievable what's happened in the NBA this year. It's been a strange year, has it not?
It has, and you also wonder how upset Joker was, because apparently the relationship between Malone and the general manager was so bad, and everybody could feel it. You get rid of both of them. The ESPN article says players such as Joker and Gordon have displayed visible frustration in recent losses on the sideline. Malone, though, did have to deal with injuries to key players. And so, I don't know. I mean, Adelman is credited with the architecture of the offense. And, assistant coaches are kind of like, I don't know, the backup quarterback. You're kind of the fan favorite until you're not. Assistant coaches a lot of times have different relationships with the players than the head coach, and they certainly spend more time with them as an assistant than the head coach does in a lot of cases. So it'll be interesting to see how David Adelman will do. I mean, he's spent 8 seasons there as an assistant coach, so we'll have the rest of the regular season, couple games, and the postseason in line to become a head coach. And then you look at candidates, and my goodness, it's the same people that we're talking about in San Antonio. Taylor Jenkins is on the list. Becky Hammond is high on the list. And this is where we go with Greg Popovich. Needs to make a decision sooner rather than later, because there are already a couple of openings for what I would describe as very coveted jobs with star players.
And Phoenix is going to be another one, most likely. You would think. I mean, because they really have. They've given up. I mean,
yeah.
They're not, don't even seem to be trying anymore. Adelman, though, I think is a legit chance of staying there in Denver. I think they like him. I think they like him a lot. A lot will depend on what happens. And you look at the schedule down the stretch is huge. Jamal Murray, by the way, for Denver is scheduled to be back tomorrow. They play Memphis tomorrow. That's a huge game. Memphis has Minnesota tonight, another huge game. So I think a lot might happen in the Denver case of what happens with the remainder of the season and where they end up. So, but I think Adelman's got a legit shot. Having said all of that, you're going to have more openings than that. And with these coaches out there, high-profile guys that have been successful, yeah, I mean, and Pop knows that. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's been a decision made, Jason, honestly, and they're just waiting till the end of the season to make the announcement one way or the other and how this is going to go. Because Pop knows as well as anybody. He's been in this game way too long to not know. So he knows that they got to get on with it if they need to hire another coach or let everybody know that he's back and he's going to be the man.
The reality, I mean, I think it's safe to say Mitch Johnson isn't going to be the guy. So
I hope not. I just don't think he's ready yet to be a full-time head coach.
My gut tells me Pop will not be back.
I feel the same.
And so you wonder, to your point, if a decision has already been made, but we want to wait till the end of the regular season, fine. Typical Spurs will get a press release. Random Tuesday in a couple of weeks. But I mean, you just, when you're looking at the importance of the offseason, and if a decision has been made, they're already doing this. If Pop is still taking time to make his decision, and he deserves to be able to make this decision.
Yep.
But at some point, if he just can't make a decision, the Spurs are going to have to make a decision for him. And the best decision for the organization is moving forward with this important offseason without Pop as the head coach. Pop can certainly continue his role as president of basketball operations or whatever role he wants within the organization. But when you think about suffering a stroke at his age and then to come back and coach 82 regular season games and hopefully into the postseason, when there was talk that he could come back this year around the All-Star break, maybe he is further along in the rehab and can do it. Maybe the reason he decided not to come back this year is because of the blood clots with Wemby. And the Spurs have given no real indication either way. My gut, though, is he ain't going to coach again, and they've got to move on. But when you look at the available candidates, you look at the Spurs job with a guy like Wemby. You look at the Denver job now it's open with a guy like Joker. John Morant in Memphis. Devin Booker in Phoenix, if that job comes open. It certainly seems like it will. It's not like the jobs that are going to be open this year in the NBA are the crap jobs that nobody really wants, like the Hornets or Washington or, which so a lot of coveted jobs this year. The best candidates, there's two that are available that, quite frankly, at the beginning of the year, none of us thought that Malone or Jenkins would get fired, certainly not during the season.
Well, certainly not because their teams are successful.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. You usually don't fire coaches of successful teams. So, yeah, those two are a big surprise. But going back to Pop for a minute, I think Chris Paul, when he spoke about it, that meeting that Pop had with those players, and the emotion that he spoke about it with, I think tells you all you need to know. That Pop obviously didn't look like Pop or sound like Pop. And it's unfortunate that if this is the end and he's going to have to retire from coaching, it's unfortunate the way that happened. But it didn't sound good, and that's all we really have to go by because we get no updates from the Spurs at all about this, which is fine. Pop probably wants it that way, and that's fine. But again, the Spurs know, Pop knows, R.C. Buford knows, they're going to have to make a call one way or the other sooner rather than later. You got the draft lottery coming up May 12th. And, I mean, that's just right around the corner.
And, again, the lottery itself, we know where we're picking. I don't necessarily – we have to have a head coach in place by the draft. The new head coach, assuming it is a new head coach, has to have input on who that selection is going to be. David Macias writes on our YouTube channel, draft position doesn't matter when you don't have a coach. we'll have a coach. We'll know something certainly by then. I'd be shocked if Greg Popovich drug this out through the offseason, July or August. I would be stunned. I agree with Joe. I think a decision has already been made, just an announcement has not yet been made. Because this organization spends too much time working ahead for them not to already know what direction they are going to go.
And obviously, a successful franchise like the Spurs know what an important offseason this is. To move this franchise forward, to stop with the skipping steps, assemble a team that can compete for a playoff position and an NBA title. This is the year. I think this is the year that they've been waiting for, fans have been waiting for, and I think this offseason is so important that all of those decisions need to be made and put in place, and the Spurs have got to be ready to move forward. However that is, they've got to be ready to move forward and put those things in place as quickly as possible.
And you look at the jobs that are open now, obviously, after the regular season ends on Sunday, there's going to be other openings that are going to come up. Question on YouTube, what do we think about Mike Malone coming to San Antonio? Of available candidates, I think Mike Malone is right up there.
Oh, man,
I mean, you look at, one, working with a legitimate superstar in Joker, and they won a championship, how he coached him, that experience. Guys won an NBA championship. But I just look at that right there. I think he would be at the top of the list of available coaches. Then probably Taylor Jenkins. You can go through the Spurs tree and all the names from a Mike Brown to a Bud to all those guys. I would go Malone number one overall. Wouldn't be mad if your theory from a couple weeks ago that Steve Kerr leaves Golden State to come to San Antonio, I wouldn't be upset with that at all.
That'd be a dream scenario. It truly would be. And you know, it just depends on Kerr's, what he wants to do with his future. Does he want to stay in coaching or does he not? But I think his time in Golden State is coming to an end either way. So what does he do after that? I mean, I honestly believe that it is because of his guys, they're aging out. Steph Curry, how much time does he have left? And obviously you can look down that roster, and there's a lot of aging veterans on it, including Jimmy Butler, for goodness sake. So Claymore on YouTube says the Mavericks, depending on what they do in the finals, in the playoffs, you know, do they make a change? Does Jason Kidd stick around? Will that job come open? I mean, with the Mavericks, hell, you never know. Hell, Ronald McDonald might be the head coach of that team next year. Who knows?
Well, I think Nico Harrison might get fired.
He might. And if he does, I mean, why wouldn't you fire Jason Kidd too?
Well, again, with this new ownership group, you never know. You never know. Jason Kidd might want out. I mean, you look at, you know, the talented coaches that are out there, a guy like a Rick Carlisle. I mean, there's so many good coaches out there, but there's seemingly this year better jobs available than most years. Yep. I mean, typically speaking, you look at a team that has an opening, they're a bad team. They might have some draft picks. They lack a superstar. They lack all kinds of things. You look at San Antonio that could be open. Could. Denver is open. Memphis is open. Phoenix is likely to be open. The coaching talent pool, which is why I say if the Spurs have any interest in those guys, and I would like to think that they would, although I'm sure that they have a short list of guys that they're already considering. And what does Wemby want? Because I do think you have to factor that in as well. I mean, decisions have to be made sooner rather than later.
Well, you know, I wonder when you say that, and I wonder if that's true. It could very well be. But we've already seen that when it comes to Luka, when it comes to the Joker, they really don't care what they thought. They made the decision. Will the Spurs, I mean, they're going to consult with Wemby on who they hire as the next head coach? I can't see that happening.
Well, I think they'll find a coach that seems more in Wemby's style than not. You know, like I saw Dan Hurley, there's interest in Denver, and he's interested in the Denver job. Jay Wright's name is popping up a lot on our YouTube channel, and I've mentioned that before. It could be something along those guys. Bill Self. I mean, especially some of these talented college coaches that are tired of playing the NIL game. That, all right, well, if I'm coaching pro basketball, might as well go to the NBA.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm leery about college coaches. Now, both of those guys are great, all right? And then Bill Self is another guy you got to think of with his connection to R.C. Buford. So that's another name that you've got. So there's going to be a lot of coaches interested in this job.
Manu.
Yeah, who said that?
Me.
Uh-huh.
Hey, man, if we're throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Look, and Denver's already mentioned Becky Hammon. I wouldn't discount Becky Hammon. I mean, honestly, I think eventually she's going to get a job in the NBA as a head coach. Her basketball mind is just too good not to. And she's already being mentioned in Denver. I'm sure she's going to be mentioned in Memphis, San Antonio. I mean, if that job comes open. Phoenix is another. So I wouldn't discount her either.
Going to be a fascinating offseason that starts Sunday for the San Antonio Spurs. Expect a fascinating final round of the Masters. We'll get you updated coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And if we're watching the Masters, you know that spring has arrived. It is April. And, boy, the weather right now is just fantastic. But, that could change on a dime. It does here in San Antonio and South Texas. Always does. And those storms are brutal. They are. They're going to bring hail, wind, rain, all of that kind of stuff. And your roof stands in the way of that and everything you own and all that you love, including your family, obviously. So I want you to remember Stevens Roofing and Solar. That is the company you need to call for a couple of reasons. One, to make sure your roof is okay and ready to withstand whatever Mother Nature has. And Stevens Roofing and Solar is happy to come out and give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. All you have to do is give them a call, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned company. They're a locally based company. They've been in business for so long here in San Antonio and South Texas. And you know as well as I do, you don't stay in business that long if you're not doing it right, if you're not credible, reliable, and your work is 100%. That is Stevens Roofing. That describes them perfectly. So you want a local roofer who deals with the same weather we do, a roofer that's going to be here for years to come. That is Stevens Roofing and Solar. Give them a call today. Schedule that free, no-obligation roof inspection at 210-785-0994. And whether you need a new roof, a minor repair, or just have them tell you your roof is in great shape, they'll do that, and they'll give you the peace of mind you need when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the number to call again, 210-785-0994.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday one. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday two. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, get in.
What? Who are you?
I'm future you. constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Let's get you caught up on what's happening in Augusta at the Masters. Justin Rose is on fire. He's played 16 holes. He is -8. The two guys in the clubhouse this afternoon with the lead, they went in there with it. Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, both of those guys shooting 68. Had a visitor to Jerry World today. Well, actually Frisco. It was former Texas Longhorn wide receiver Matthew Golden.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, friends. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, The Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nice. You're working on that Jim Nantz impersonation?
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Better at that one.
Yeah.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
You know, Jim, what if we're not friends, buddy? I mean, you know.
We're all friends.
Are we all friends?
We're all friends.
Okay. Not sure.
Who are you not friends with?
I've met Jim Nantz a couple of times, but if I walk by him today, wouldn't know who the hell I am.
Sure, but he would be very nice to you.
He would be.
He's just a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. A nice guy. You know, there was some drama at the Masters today.
Yes, there was.
Yes, some dude whipped it out.
He's an Arizona State Sun Devil.
Well, there you go. That explains everything. Whipped it out and just started peeing right there on the golf course.
Well, when you got to go, you got to go. What golfer has not peed on the course?
Jose Luis, I guess it's Ballester, is his name. Now, he's
two-time All-American.
He was playing with Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas, by the way.
Forks up.
And he says that Justin Thomas was having some trouble, so it was taking some time, and he had to pee.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually peed right there. It says he urinated into the tributary some 60 yards short of the green.
Now, he did like every other golfer. He tried to get away into the woods to a degree, but he found a creek, and he added to it.
Well, he thought the bridge was covering him up. The problem was the grandstand on the next hole, they could see it. They had a perfect view.
You know, the good news for him, nobody could whip out their cell phone and get video.
No, they couldn't, but they gave him a big round of applause.
There you go.
But everything last night was wee.
I mean, you pee on the golf course?
I do, but I'm not playing in the Masters.
If you did, you would wet yourself.
Well, I don't know. Apparently he says he forgot there were restrooms right there to the left of the tee box, and he should have gone there. But, look, you're right. I'm not mad at the guy. That's what happens. He's an amateur there, and so he won his way on. He shot 76 today, which, hey, not bad. But, yeah, the kid had to go pee. So he did. He whipped it out and relieved himself right there and got a big, nice round of applause.
I mean, don't you want a standing ovation after you have peed successfully?
Well, I would like that, but not because I peed, because, oh, my God, look at that thing.
Wake up.
I've never seen anything like that, honey. Look at that. We got a good 12 inches here that we can play with. So I wouldn't get that round of applause. No,
I'd like to see that gobbler.
Oh, man.
Oh, you got to give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Man. So I don't know if this guy was he's well endowed or not. But he got a round of applause. I think that's impressive.
I mean,
he had a stick. I mean, it was just fun.
So yesterday in the practice round, his coach at Arizona State got escorted off the tournament grounds because he was wearing shorts. This guy pulls it out and pees on the course and gets a standing ovation.
Yeah. Whip it out. Go to town. I mean, so he says he'd do it again.
It's okay to pee on the course, but it's not okay to wear shorts. Make that make sense.
I don't think that it's okay to pee, and I would imagine
he didn't get in trouble. He didn't get suspended. He didn't get suspended.
Not yet.
I mean, nature calls, as you know, it calls often for you. It's like spam calls for the rest of us.
I wouldn't be surprised if young Mr. Arizona State was called into the principal's office when he arrived back at the clubhouse.
What do you get, a 1 or 2 stroke penalty?
Well, that depends. You're looking to grab the knob. It depends. One stroke usually isn't enough. Look, I hope he doesn't get in trouble. It happens, and it's not a big deal. And you're right. Every golfer on the planet pees on the golf course. It happens. But, Arizona State's just kind of screwing everything up. Yesterday with the shorts, today with the wiener. I mean, dude. What the hell's the matter with Arizona State?
Dude, there's nothing wrong with Arizona State. Jeez. You're used to wearing shorts and peeing on the golf course. And again, how often do you see in tournaments some guys out there taking a leak somewhere and the cameras catch them on television? We've seen it. It happens.
Where have you seen it? I haven't seen that.
Dude, just Google it. I mean, guys peeing on the golf course on the PGA Tour, it happens.
Really?
It does.
I've never seen it. I never have. Usually they have restrooms around there, especially for the guys that are playing, and they're usually very convenient. And sometimes you'll see a guy going off in a cart if he's got to go poo.
That you can't do on the golf course. And he peed into a creek.
Well, I don't think anybody would. I mean, that wouldn't be tolerated anywhere, even at Golf Club of Texas. But there are plenty of trees out there that I'm sure you guys have peed on. I've never done that, Bo. But these
You're
guys.
Such a liar. I mean, you get onto the back nine and Ryan goes pee in every hole.
Well, usually because we're about a 6-pack in by then.
There's more than that.
Yeah, well, depends.
A couple of shots and, I mean, there's not an area on that back nine that you haven't peed in.
I'm sure
at the golf club.
That's why it's so green out there. Yeah.
That certainly has helped. You've done your part.
I have.
You fix your divots and you
I do
help green up the grass.
So I just thought that was an interesting story, and I had forgotten that the guy was at Arizona State and the coach was from Arizona State. Arizona State might not be invited back.
They're fine. They're fine. Speaking of Arizona State and Coach Dillingham up there recruiting big time here in San Antonio.
Speaking of wieners, that seemed like to go right into it. Nice segue, Jason. Go ahead.
Steel Knight, edge rusher Julian Hugo is committed to Arizona State, according to On3. He is a stud, the 2024 Express News Defensive Player of the Year finalist. Chose Arizona State over USC, Colorado, and North Carolina.
Wow. So he didn't want to go play for Bill or Primetime.
Nope.
How about that?
Dillingham.
Nice.
He walked on that campus and said, this is where I'm going.
Ian Rappaport is reporting that former Texas wide receiver and current NFL draft prospect Isaiah Bond has turned himself into Frisco police for an outstanding warrant for sexual assault.
Ooh.
That doesn't sound good.
No. It doesn't sound good.
So we'll see. We'll continue to see what happens on that deal.
We will follow it up as we go. Masters underway right now. Got a couple of days left in the NBA regular season. And last night for the Luka game, higher than 30.5 points. And I said on the show yesterday, for Luka, you want to go higher. I did. It turned green at halftime. You want to make money watching basketball? You want to make games down the stretch more interesting, especially with the Spurs? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog, one of the leading sports apps out there where you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog. All you have to do is go higher, lower on predicted stats. Play with as little as $1. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars. Underdog has over 100,000 five-star reviews. You need to be playing. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with my promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-929-1313. 800-929-1313. Again, that's 800-929-1313.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but they're drab, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage we're shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the cat's pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty buildup, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Connecticut. Their line electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-Man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, say?
License number 38961.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. Make sure you're following us on socials, at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. If you're not, you always can, and you can comment there as well. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
You know, if you haven't been to the YouTube channel, you need to, because we've got quite the characters in there. And the conversation is always lively and entertaining, to say the least. So head on over to the YouTube page. Check them out.
And sometimes it's like being back in the 5th grade, like with all the different phrases used to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. And it's okay. I think we're all mentally in grade school still. I don't know if that ever changes for a guy. For, girls, it does.
No, it doesn't.
They actually mature.
No, they don't.
No, they do.
Just around guys.
Well, maybe that's it.
You got 5 daughters. You know better.
Well,
girls are worse than guys.
Not when it comes to being immature.
Well,
no. I mean, I can just look at our YouTube page and say, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Buckyball. As we're watching the Masters, there's some incredible golf being played right now. But Brooks Koepka.
Liver.
He was asked about shooting a 59 at Augusta.
Hey, Brooks. It sounds like the course is already pretty dialed this week, but under softer or sort of optimal scoring conditions, do you think 59 is obtainable on this golf course?
Have you played here?
Not yet.
Yeah, I could tell by the question.
What number is attainable in your mind? 63 is the low.
I mean, anything's attainable. But, yeah, if I want to go play the members' tees and maybe play like 15 holes, yeah, I could do that.
The members' tees, 15 holes.
Yeah, I mean.
Way to poop all over the members.
Well, dude, the members even know that. I mean, you're talking about, 68 is the low right now. Justin Rose obviously is going to do better than that because he's at 8 under. But so if he stays there, that's a 64. That's a hell of a score on this golf course. Had a lot of rain out there, so the course is soft, but it's going to get harder as the weekend goes.
Pledge, you missed it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
You can't be delayed like that. You got to be ready. Always have to be ready in the moment.
Uh-huh.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Delay in a fire, miss. Can't do that. So, Brooks is a liver?
Yes.
You're not a fan of the liver.
I don't like the livers. They're a bunch of traitors.
A bunch of traitors.
Yes.
I get a feeling Jack doesn't like the live types either.
Well, I don't know what level Phil's competing at. I don't know. I guess he's still playing. He's playing the live tour. I don't know whether he's playing or not. I don't know. You don't know. You never see it anymore. But
yeah. Wow.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what, like, Brooks Koepka is +1 right now. He's played 14 holes.
So not a 59.
No, he's not going to shoot. No danger of a 59 there or anything. No, he's done. I'm trying to see who the highest liver is right now on the leaderboard, and I guess that would be Cameron Smith. Right, he shot 71.
Well, and he showed up the other day and wore a suit in his practice round.
Yeah. Bubba Watson's -1. He's a liver.
Former champ.
Sure. Lefty.
Mm-hmm.
Bryson DeChambeau is -1. He's a big dorky goofball, too.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're not doing all that well. Sergio Garcia, I'm not sure what he looks like Ronald McDonald today with what have you seen his outfit?
I don't guess I have.
No, well, you would remember it if you did. He's even par.
See, this is the part, like Justin Rose, who's 8 under, is about to tee off, and he's on 18. Ain't no way in hell I'd be able to hit a golf ball with all those people lining that. There's just no way. Somebody there would lose a tooth.
Well, I guarantee you, and they wouldn't be lining up like that if they saw you walk up to the tee either. They'd be running like hell to get the hell out of there.
I mean, you're not necessarily safe behind me, let alone that would just make me nervous to try to tee off with all those people that close.
Now, this is 18, and you're right. That's just like a tunnel that they've got to hit that ball through. And if people lined up on both sides of the tee box all the way down, probably, 150 yards maybe? And, yeah, that's a tough shot.
Well, now, what I'm curious, think about how long we talked about him teeing off at that moment. I bring it up, talk about it, you look up, you talk about it, and then he finally hits the ball. Scott Van Pelt brought this up. Does golf need some sort of shot clock? Whether it's for your drive or you're getting ready for your second shot, your putt. And I don't know what the rules would be, and Scott Van Pelt didn't go into any kind of detail other than saying, they had this shot clock at the TGL, and the only guy that got in trouble for it was Tiger, and he owns the damn thing, he and Rory, but he said golf would greatly benefit from a shot clock. You are much more of a golf purist than I am, but in this world of everybody trying to speed up sport, does golf need some sort of shot clock?
No, it does not. Golf does not need a shot clock. Now, look, there are some really slow players on tour, but a shot clock, because there's so many different ways you would have to do that, right? I mean, guy hits a ball out of bounds, hits it in the water, looking for it. What do? Do you pause the clock at that point in time?
I think once you put the ball on the tee, the clock starts.
Well, how long do you give them? What's the clock? 30 seconds? A minute?
18 seconds, man.
18 seconds.
I mean, you put it down, when it's your turn to putt, you got, I don't need you to take 9 minutes to try to read the greens. I don't know what the clock would be. I'm just asking the question. Scott Van Pelt brought it up. Golf would benefit greatly if there was sort of a clock that when we knew when it started and when it hit zeros, you'd get a warning, then you'd get a penalty, because the game does take a long time to get moving. I mean, Justin Rose probably looked over that tee shot for over a minute.
It wasn't that long.
It was that long.
It wasn't that long.
We talked about it for a long time.
Well, look.
I'm just asking. I mean, I know you hate, anything that changes in golf. Think about how you treat the live types. But
they did it to themselves.
Again, Scott Van Pelt brought this up. It wouldn't apply to, when we're playing at the Golf Club of Texas, because there's a reason there's going to be slow play on Monday, and nobody's going to be mad at that or those. But when you in a golf tournament like this, can you speed some things along with some sort of timer, sort of shot clock, if you will?
I don't know. Would it make a difference in who watches it just because you've got a shot clock there? I'm not sure. You either like golf on TV or you don't. We've already established that you don't watch anything but the majors. Most people on our YouTube page don't really watch golf or get into it. I do, and I don't find it slow. I mean, I don't know. So you finish a round in 3 hours and 30 minutes instead of 3:45. I mean, I just don't. TV's got to push this thing out anyway, right? They've got a time window.
Well, and again, they're trying to get things done, and from a TV perspective, and maybe that's where SVP is coming from. How many times does, the TV window, and all right, well, we'll continue coverage over on this, because the days of keeping things where they are or starting them have kind of changed, because everybody can go to their app. Everybody can go to an alternate channel. So from a TV perspective, would it make more sense? You look at the pitch clock in baseball is not even noticeable. Rarely do you even think about it. And remember all the people that were up in arms about adding that clock, and you don't even notice it. And what have they shaved, 15, 20 minutes off of a game? Not even. If it's good baseball, who gives a damn? Bad baseball, you're probably bouncing anyway. Probably the same with golf. If I'm watching the final round of a tournament, well, for me, if somebody's got a 7-8 shot lead, I'm not giving it time unless it's major, unless it's the Masters. But if there's a battle down the stretch and I see on Twitter or somebody texts somebody or, like, oh, my God, you can't believe what's happening, I'll turn it on then. But I don't even think you would even notice a clock. Guys would adjust.
Well, I'm sure guys would adjust. My question would be, and I don't know the answer to this, has it helped viewership in baseball to have a pitch clock? I mean, does anybody know the answer to that? I don't know that it has.
Did you see the signing bonus that Guerrero just got? Baseball is not hurting.
Well, no, they're not. They weren't hurting before. The guys were getting that kind of bonus before the pitch clock. I don't know, and I don't mind the pitch clock there. And maybe it would be the same in golf, but I'm just not sure. I think you either like it or you don't. And I'm not sure that a shot clock in the game of golf would make a difference. I think the players kind of take care of it on their own, to be honest with you.
Coming at it from a golf standpoint, it could also improve the product, because you talk about the people that get stuck behind the notoriously slow golfers and how it throws them out of their rhythm a lot of the times, which can lead to
talking about Patrick Reed.
Talking about Patrick Reed, but like you hear those players complain about that and how it kind of takes them out of their game because it throws them out of the rhythm that they get in because they get stuck behind a player like that. It can improve the actual play on the course as well.
So, I just don't think you have that many guys that are that slow that are Patrick Reed. I mean, that guy's ridiculously slow. And there are some others, but I don't think for the most part guys are that slow, to be totally honest with you.
I'm just curious. Joe's against it, which I don't know anybody would be surprised. Pledge as a guy that used to teach golf and work at golf courses, would you be fine with it? And what would the shot clock be? I don't even know. I'm not educated enough or a damn good enough golfer to even know what a shot clock, reasonable shot clock would be. 45 seconds, 30 seconds, something in there?
I think 35 to 45 seconds is plenty of time once you address the ball.
Well, then that's way too long. Because if some dude's going to address the ball and stand there for 45 seconds, I'm going to yell at him. That's way too long.
But what I mean by address the ball, there are a lot of golfers that address it, back off it, come back to it. Once you address the ball, that clock starts.
Now, Pledge, you're that way on a golf course, and it's freaking annoying because you take forever. I mean, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're all over.
But I play at a quick pace.
It's not quick. I mean, the rest of us have already picked up our ball. We're ready to go, and yet you're trying to figure out you got your little gadget there, and it's this and it's that, and you're doing this, and you're walking and stepping and moving a leaf that would be nowhere near where your ball would go. You take forever.
Well, so we're going to put a shot clock on Pledge when we go out and play. Is that what I'm hearing?
Do it. I mean, slow play annoys me.
I mean, we did that one time, didn't we? Although it was one of the other guys in our group, where he took over a minute to be 15 feet short on a putt, right? I mean, there's just so much that I'm just go. Now, granted, I don't know how to read a green anyway, so I just go up and tap it and, pray that it goes in.
Exactly. You don't.
I have no idea. I'm telling you. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. These guys, I mean, it's different. It's such a different sport than anything else. All right, a pitch clock in baseball. All right, so be it. So you don't want the pitcher up there scratching his sack and spitting all over the place. We don't want that. And golf is different because they've got to talk to their caddy. What's the yardage? What's the wind like? You get up on the green, you got to read the green because there's all kinds of different stuff. So it's really apples and oranges when it comes to other sports that have a pitch clock.
But it's not. I mean, it's just like baseball. Like I said, once you address it, that clock starts, and you can do all that stuff before you address the ball.
Time out, Pledge. You guys both watched a lot of the TGL. I watched it for about 5 minutes and never went back. There apparently was a clock. What was the time? And did you guys even notice it or pay attention to it? Did it factor in your viewing experience? Were you getting, 2, 1, he got a shot off? I mean, did it even factor in for you guys?
Well, it's such a different game, though. You're in a controlled environment, and so there's really not that much to think about. I mean, you think about when you go to a simulator, you do things different than you would do on a regular golf course. So it's two different things.
40 seconds, by the way.
It was 40 seconds. And it was the only guy that got in trouble this year with the clock on the TGL was Tiger Woods, who actually put the rule in.
Well, Tiger was notoriously a little slower than everybody else. I mean, he was. But, look, it paid off pretty well for him. And I know, because you made a statement the other day, if somebody's 6, 7 shots ahead, you're tuning out. Tiger Woods did that all the time.
Yeah.
You didn't tune out.
Oh, no, but Tiger's not playing anymore.
Well, he's not, but I'm just saying. See, you need to appreciate the game now, Minix, because now there's not just one guy that dominates. Tiger dominated, right? But these guys, every time they step out on the golf course now, somebody else can win. There are like 20, 30 guys that can win a tournament now.
Jordan Spieth?
Jordan Spieth. He's one of them, although he didn't play well today. Son of a...
Mm-hmm.
All I heard was you got to appreciate the game more, and all I could think was,
get off my lawn. You got to appreciate the game. These guys can do things that, well, we just can't do.
Get off my golf course.
Red Garza on our YouTube channel. Can we replay Joe's comments from yesterday about last night's Spurs game being unwatchable?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll say the same thing tomorrow and then on Sunday as well, Red, because it just doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's a great win, exciting, that they went up to Golden State and won, but it meant absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Red, I told you, take the Spurs and those 17 points.
Yeah.
Could have made some money. Reinega put all his on Jordan Spieth. You figure why he's grumpy today.
Well, $25, and it's not over yet. By the way, just in case you're wondering, I had a sizable bet on the L.A. Lakers last night.
Yeah.
Which paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not grumpy because of that. I'm just grumpy because you guys don't appreciate the game of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Joe hates everything change.
I don't want to. I just don't think it's necessary. If I thought it was necessary, if there were a bunch of cheese balls that were taking their time, then okay, do it. But I'm not sure it's necessary. And Patrick Reed's a liver, so we'll never hear from him again after this tournament. So, or Dustin Johnson or anybody else that plays on the Live Golf Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they go away and they disappear until the Masters shows up.
Well, so they just show up for the parties.
Well, that's pretty much all they do. I mean, nobody watches Live Golf. Nobody.
Including Jack. Pledge does.
Pledge watches Live?
Yeah, I've started watching it. It's been
been
fun.
Okay, well, you did come out to the Golf Club of Texas on Monday. You'll see the same thing. Scramble golf. Guys in shorts.
And white belts.
And white belts drinking beer.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Well, sure.
Have music going.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Are we going to put a shot clock on the livers?
Well, there'll be shots.
Goodness gracious.
You all right? You're getting all fired up. Turning red?
I am fired up.
You're turning red?
It's unbelievable.
What did you say? Look at Alexandra's comment. Alexandra, I come back to the same get off my lawn at Brian Eagle. I don't know where she been.
Well, she said she had to go in person to work now.
Oh, that sucks.
So that sucks that it does. You know, you can watch YouTube and just turn it down real low, Alexandra.
No, turn it all up. I thought she worked at the jail.
She does.
How did you work from home for the jail?
Were you locking people up in your house?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Idiot?
Yeah.
Good to have you back, Alexandra.
Absolutely. And the prisoner that listens, we haven't heard from him in a while.
Well, you know, I got a text from him the other day.
A text?
Not a text, a tweet.
Oh. Like, wow, man, your relationship really got personal. You
it was
gave
a
him your
tweet.
phone number?
Yeah, no, this guy. So, yeah, but he doesn't comment as much as he used to.
Yeah.
But he sent me a.
All right. Ray Amaro with the comment of the moment.
Uh-oh.
Can we put a shot clock on the golf talk? Yes, we can. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The
John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
And it's the second instance of a plane catching fire this week.
J.D. Ryan was a stewardess for Southwest for 5 minutes.
Flight attendant.
And he's an expert on everything aviation.
Now it's time for Plane Talk with Captain J.D. Ryan.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome aboard.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for 1 day this Saturday. Book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, 1 day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for this Saturday. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyerforus.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Thursday afternoon. Everybody's still recovering from an incredible weekend with the Valero Texas Open and the Final Four. And the Final Four numbers are incredible. For the fifth time, San Antonio hosting the Final Four. Now, you've probably already seen the incredible TV numbers for the Saturday night semifinals. Florida-Auburn, 14.6 million viewers. The Duke-Houston game, 16 million viewers. the championship game, 18.1 million viewers, the most watched men's Final Four weekend since 2017.
And what does that tell you? It tells you that they were exciting games, first and foremost, but I think everybody is on that. I want to see the studs.
Yep.
The good teams in the championship round. The upsets are nice early on, but when it comes to the championship, we want to see the best.
The broadcasts were distributed internationally in 179 countries.
Wow.
Social media engagement on March Madness was incredible. Those numbers in the millions. The live streams were in the millions. But we all showed up and we went to stuff. The attendance for the full tournament, all the stuff, 707,961.
Wow.
There were 68,252 in the Dome on Saturday, 66,602 Monday for the championship game. There were 1,805 credentialed media.
That's a lot of media.
Yep.
And there were a lot of media.
2,500 volunteers. This is cool. 50 states were represented. All 50.
How about that?
26 countries also represented. Some of the other cool stuff, 129,903 people went to the March Madness Music Festival, the highest total attendance since 2018.
I don't know who they've had prior, but, I mean, the headliners were pretty good.
They were solid, but every city does the free shows. I'm trying to remember, 2018, that was in San Antonio. So I'm trying to remember who was here in 2018 to be able to do that. 66,316 went to FanFest. They say that is the third highest attendance ever for a FanFest. 78,442 were at the tip-off tailgate. 10,000 went to the Reese's Final Four Friday. And for the Reed Final Four with the kids, 27 million and change minutes read. So overall, man, an incredible deal. And look, the bid process for the next round of potential sites for the men's Final Four will come next summer with the sites for 2032 through 2036 up for bid. And San Antonio will be part of the process. We'll submit a bid. You just wonder if, and what's the word I'm looking for? As successful as the weekend was, the NCAA is obviously celebrating those kind of numbers because that's incredible, but is the Dome going to be capable for hosting? And we've talked about this some. What is the city going to do to make sure the Dome grows along with the needs of the NCAA?
Well, that would be part of the presentation, because, look, they know the people that are responsible for putting this wonderful event on have been told, I'm sure, by the NCAA, look, this is lacking, we need this, we need that. And so any part of any presentation would have to come with a commitment to, hey, yes, those improvements will be made. It will be ready to go, and so here's our bid. It would have to.
There is an article in the San Antonio Business Journal that's behind a lovely paywall, so I can't read it. Ron Nuremberg, Reimagine Alamo Dome, a must for San Antonio.
Sure. I mean, look, that building is, 30 years old?
Opened in 1993.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's an old building. It has been improved. There have been some improvements made to it, but, yeah. And I think, part of this Project Marvel, I love what the drawing of the Alamo Dome looks like.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. If that's what they're going to do, they're going to widen it and lengthen it. Or maybe not widen it, but the plan, I think, was to lengthen it a little bit. I think it looks fantastic, and I hope that all of that is, is done. I want it all done.
Well, I know from my own personal experience being at the games on Saturday and Monday, and my wife who volunteered down at FanFest, and she did the dome dribble on Sunday morning. It was crazy packed, but everybody was having a good time, and that's what you love. There was nothing. There weren't any black eye stories for the city of San Antonio outside of the car break-ins at La Cantera Resort. That was the only negative story that I saw all weekend. Nothing crazy and, oh, man, I can't believe that happened in our city. That's embarrassing. We didn't have that.
Well, because this city is perfect for that event. It is. And you mentioned New Orleans. I'll even throw in New Orleans. But the reason why, it's just a great place to come and party.
Yep.
It's a perfect place for a weekend like that. And everybody that you talk to that comes it says the same thing. And San Antonio is just a perfect city to host events like that. And that's why. And people have a good time, but they don't get out of hand, and it's absolutely perfect. So I wish they had it here a lot more often, and it should be a standing every 5th year or something that San Antonio gets this thing.
Well, and you look, I know Dallas is getting one, North Texas.
That's a horrible place.
And again, one of the knocks on Dallas is you'll have Fan Fest at the Convention Center, probably in Dallas.
Yes.
You'll have Final Four Friday. If you want to go to the practices, you got to go all the way to Arlington for the stadium. And if you're going to the games, you're at the stadium, but you're probably staying in a hotel that's in downtown Dallas. And with traffic, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour if you're lucky. And knowing how North Texas is right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's stuff out at the Star, out in Frisco, which is even further away. Indianapolis has 2 in the next couple of years, which... And I know that's the home of the NCAA, and I'm not knocking Indy. They know how to host these events too, but they don't have the same draw, but their stadiums are big. Phoenix, that stadium is out in Glendale, but everything else is downtown Phoenix. Downtown Phoenix is fine for events like that, but the game is an hour away in Glendale.
Exactly, and that's the problem. I've been to a Final Four in North Texas, which is what they call it. So they have the event there at Jerry World.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, Convention Center is 45-minute bus ride away because media bus ride or car ride or whatever you want to call it. It's a long way, and it's really everything's just spread out. Obviously, the game at Jerry World is fantastic. It's a great place to have it, and it's awesome. But everything else is spread out. It's the beauty of San Antonio that everything is within walking distance here.
You're right. Ronald McDonald is golfing. Sergio Garcia with those yellow pants and red top. That's comical.
I don't know what he's thinking.
I want to go back to what you just said. I did not think the game experience was all that great in Arlington at Jerry World. They put the floor is on a riser.
Right.
But even then, that stadium, the way it is built, even good seats feel like you're a mile away. I don't like the setup in the Alamo Dome, to be honest with you, because basketball shouldn't be played in that kind of setting. But at least the way the Alamo Dome is built, you still have a decent view of the court. You're not completely watching the entire game on a Jumbotron. Now, our media seats, because the set was kind of blocking our view where Barkley and those guys were, anything on the left side of the court, our right side viewing had to look up because you couldn't see through all that stuff. But I think for most fans, they had a pretty decent view where you could actually watch the game and not watch the TV. At Jerry World, you're watching Jerry's vision, that television the entire time. I thought the same thing with the All-Star game when they had it in Dallas in, 2010, 2011, whenever that was.
It was 2014.
I hate Jerry World for basketball.
Well, but they're not going to put it in arenas.
No.
They never will because they want 68,000 people in there.
Yep.
So it's all in football stadiums. Next year it'll be where the Colts play. And that's how they do the Final Four. So, but again, it was a great event. The people that put this thing together just do a fabulous job, and they worked their tails off. They did a great job, and everything was fantastic. I have no complaints, not one, and didn't hear any complaints. I think you did, and maybe AJ heard There weren't enough escalators or
Well,
something?
AJ heard that. He was telling me about it, and I don't know if that was if he heard a complaint or he was just bitching because he had to walk downstairs.
Dude, if that's the only complaint you have,
now
there's no complaints.
The concession lines were a little long, but outside of that,
Well,
I mean,
there's 68,000 people in there. I think the concession lines might be a little long. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Did you read that CBS article where they were talking about like problems with the Alamo Dome? It's like the bathrooms looked like they were built in 1993. Well, they were.
They were.
I mean,
what are they supposed to look like, CBS?
And quite honestly, there's enough urinals. You're good. Now, if you need to sit a while, you might have a problem there, but you can find one. I don't know. I don't give a damn how bathrooms look as long as there's enough of them and you get in and you get out and I don't know. There's water. You can wash your hands. There's soap, paper towel dispenser, and you're out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me, bathrooms are as long as there's plenty of porcelain, the least of my worries when it comes to how modern is a building. You know, I'm not buying a house where it's got to have a modern kitchen and a modern bathroom. Everything else, though, wider hallways, they need that. Concession stands, of all things to bitch about. So
I would love to know what the complaint is from the NCAA.
There's not enough seats.
Not enough seats?
Not enough seats.
So they want more than 68,000 in there?
Absolutely.
Huh.
Did you see what those tickets cost?
Well, I get that, but the poor dude up in the corner of the Alamo Dome that paid over $100 for that seat couldn't see a damn thing, I promise you.
But he was there.
I guess. Is that good enough?
Yeah. So 2018, the Music Fest. I remember this because Maroon 5, Imagine Dragons, One Republic, Panic at the Disco, Jason Aldean, Kelsey Ballerini, and a couple other people. I don't know who they are. And I remember in 2008, it was Taylor Swift before she was big. She was side stage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She was here. Yeah. Well, look, that's great. I didn't get to go to any of that stuff, so.
Didn't get to or chose not to?
Well, I chose not to.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Chris Stapleton fan, and that was really the only one that I haven't or Pitbull.
We just saw Stapleton
and we did
at the Super Bowl.
I'm not a huge. He's good, but it's not something I'm gonna have. Oh my gosh, Chris Stapleton's here. I gotta go. No.
Now Jelly Roll in the bathroom on the other hand.
Now Jelly Roll in the bathroom. That is a must-see event.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Y'all are just jealous, man. That's fine.
I really am jealous that I did not meet Jelly Roll in the men's room in New Orleans.
I know, and it's okay, Jason. Maybe next time.
I mean, I saw him in the bar. I did not meet Jelly Roll in the bathroom.
Maybe next time you'll have that opportunity.
I think I'm good. I really do. Of all places to meet somebody, the bathroom.
Dude, I was minding my own business.
That clearly,
he came in. He followed me in.
You were minding his business, too.
He followed me in the bathroom. I didn't follow him in there.
Uh-huh.
Just remember that.
One day when you see Joe at the bar and he's had a couple of beers, ask him the true story. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home. Added extra outlets in the garage because the builder doesn't put enough in there. They put a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Great locally owned family-run business. They've got the right service for you at the right price. And get this, never a service charge and always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a job done. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or go online, hill-electric.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas, what a wild finish!
Your home for the NFL.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Round one of the Masters is just about in the books. Justin Rose is your leader, shoots a 7-under par round of 65 today. Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, they're second at 4 under par. Round two, of course, tomorrow. Former Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden paid a visit to the Dallas Cowboys today. Cowboys looking for another wideout to line up opposite C.D. Lamb. By the way, the NFL draft begins 2 weeks from today.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, friends. It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's Mr. Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Well, thanks, Jim.
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Thanks, Jim.
I think he's sitting next to you.
He is. Thanks, Jim.
So,
He's a little shorter than Jim Nantz, though. That's the only problem.
Well, he's a tall dude. You're a little shorter than Jim Nantz.
Not quite as short as you, though.
Well, that's for most people. I'm a tall 5'7".
Dude, I've never felt as short as I did when I stood next to that Florida guy at 7'9".
I mean, Wemby felt short.
Wemby was short next to that guy. That's nuts.
Crazy. Old Rory, although he just putted out, he saved himself a little bit.
Well, he double bogeyed the hole.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that sucks.
He was 4 under. He's 2 under now. He hit it in the water.
Yeah.
And that's the
I saw
problem.
him in the water, but I saw him putt, and he looked relieved, so I thought maybe he saved it, but apparently not.
See, the problem is, and you heard Brooks Koepka, and that's the smartest thing he's ever said before in his life, that it's a very difficult golf course. But those greens are like putting on this table right here.
Mm-hmm.
They're that fast.
Yeah.
And hard. They don't stick.
Late again, Pledge.
See,
did you celebrate your birthday too much last night?
No, I was gonna play something else, but it.
I mean,
he went away from it.
All right. University of Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond got arrested earlier, or he turned himself in. There was a warrant for sexual assault. He, in a statement released on social media literally just now, calls the accusations patently false. Regarding the accusation made against me, I would appreciate the time and opportunity to defend myself and prove the claims made are false. I'm in full cooperation with the authorities and will remain a willing and active participant in the investigation. Unfortunately, claims like these prove to be harmful to all involved, absent full review. A lawyer wrote this.
Yes.
I kindly request that all reserve judgment until authorities provide a complete report based on truth and evidence.
All right, fair enough.
Well, is it? I mean, this dude's about to get drafted in the NFL
well,
of all times for, and by most mocks, late first, second round type of guy.
Well, I guess you shouldn't beat up somebody, allegedly.
Well, the sexual assault, Joe.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess you shouldn't
yes.
sexually assault somebody,
now,
allegedly.
I mean, what do you do? He had visits scheduled with the Browns, Packers, Chiefs, Bills, and Titans, as well as the Falcons. And you wonder what he's going to do. I mean, he had already worked out privately for the Bills and had dinner with the Bills the previous night.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's going to get a bond, right? I mean, he's going to get out on bail, and he can go on his visits, I'm sure. I guess, I suppose he can. But, look, they'll try to get this thing done as quick as possible. And if he is innocent, as his lawyer just said he was, then should be the end of it.
It should be the end of it. But the timing of it, and happens every year, doesn't it? Feel like around the draft, a week, 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks from the draft. It's 2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from today, we're going to be sitting at the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road talking about what are the Cowboys going to do at number 12. And Isaiah Bond's going to be somewhere going, well, you just wonder. I mean, every year there's always something that seems to come up for somebody around draft time. A couple years ago, La'el Collins, and, he didn't get drafted at all.
That's a perfect guy for the Cowboys. Just go ahead and draft him now. You need a wide receiver. There you go. Perfect guy. A reclamation project for Jerry. No, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Obviously, that's a serious accusation. I hope he's innocent, as he says he is, but we'll see. But that's a serious accusation. Now, what do? You got to wait until and see what comes out.
Again, we have no idea. You see that he gets or turns himself in on a warrant. So there was enough there for them to at least issue a warrant. But proven you're innocent until proven guilty, although in the court of public opinion, you're always guilty until you prove yourself innocent, right?
Exactly
I mean,
right.
That's just, unfortunately the way it works when you hear, oh, there's a warrant. He turned himself in. You can say everything you want. Your interviews for all these NFL teams just got drastically different.
Absolutely. And think about the visits now that he's going to go on. That's going to be hey, dude, did you do this or not? What do we have anything to worry about? I mean, if I'm a GM, that's the question I'm asking. Hey, if we draft you, are we going to have problems? Are you going to play or are you going to be in jail?
You wonder how much that could cost him. Again, projected to be second-round pick. Does he slide to the fourth or fifth now? The amount of money that would cost him?
It could. I mean, that's very possible now, depending on how this goes. By the way, ESPN PR said that Luka's return to Dallas yesterday was the largest non-Christmas NBA audience on ESPN. 2.26 million viewers.
Yeah, peak audience was at 2.79, up 71% versus comparable game last year. And we told you going into that game, I did, on Underdog, Luka was at 30.5 points. The projected, I said go higher. I went higher on my own pick-em entry last night on Underdog, and that thing turned green at halftime. Luka finishes with 45. You want to make these basketball games more interesting, make sure you're playing on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps. You can play in Texas, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. You can play for as little as $1. Turn that into 1,000 playing the Pick'em game, where all you do is go higher or lower on predicted stats. It's a lot of fun to play. Underdog, one of the top sports apps out there. Join in on the fun. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit RoxDiscountVitamins.com.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home.
home. That's payday one. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday two. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
This weekend, only at Macy's, it's our lowest prices of spring. How low? Diamond rings, pendants, and earrings, only $399, originally $1,500. Ninja blenders, now $89.99. And $395 men's designer suits, only $99.99. So if you're wondering why you should shop Macy's lowest prices sale, well, the name pretty much says it all. It's our lowest prices for one weekend only. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyer4us.com.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. The NFL Draft, first round 2 weeks from today. Let's talk some NFL football with the great John McClain. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Has Houston recovered from Monday night?
Absolutely not. I want to congratulate San Antonio, one of my favorite cities in the country, for putting on another spectacular show. I love it when people come in from out of state and praise one of our cities, and none gets praised more than San Antonio. But it was spoiled by the end, the way the Cougars just choked those last 3 minutes, and people here are still devastated because really the Cougars won a game they should have lost, and they lost a game they should have won.
True.
Yeah, all of that is true. I thought it was a hell of a game. I think the officials kind of screwed up the second half, John, because they completely changed the way they were calling it. They didn't call it that way in the first half, and they called everything in the second half. And I thought the first half was pretty good. I wish they would have just let them play.
Joe, you're right. And I don't understand that. It's like somebody called them from the NCAA and said, okay, guys, you're not calling enough fouls. And I told my wife there were several fouls called on the Gators away from the ball in which they were incredulous. And I told my wife, you watch, makeup calls are coming. And they did. But that's basketball. Cougars blew it. You know, last 4 possessions, turnovers, last 3. don't even get off a shot. Last 19 seconds, they look like the Three Stooges, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. And it was so uncharacteristic of their mental toughness that we'd seen time and again at the end of games, including against Duke. And then they acted like against Florida they'd never been in that situation. But congratulations to the Gators and the Cougars. They have 4 5-star recruits. They already have a big-time transfer through the portal, and they got like 2 or 3 starters coming back, and they'll be good again. They'll be favored to win the Big 12, but you guys know how hard it is to get to that championship game. And I felt terrible for Kelvin Sampson. People here, and it didn't matter if you're an Aggie, Longhorn, Bear, Red Raider, they were pulling for the Cougars.
You know, and apparently those in Oklahoma also pulling for Sampson. Is he taking any real blowback? I texted a couple of my radio friends there in Houston, and they weren't even talking about it. But the fact that in the post-game interview, he thanked all the great Sooner fans that were along for the ride.
Yeah, you know, he coached there, and he coached to Indianapolis, and he got fired, and they said he broke the rules. Of course, every coach broke the rules. Now they're doing it legally. And he was a Rockets assistant when Mack Rhodes, who was the AD, now the Baylor AD, hired him 11 years ago, and it turned out to be a great move because Kelvin's 69, and I don't think he's leaving anytime soon because he's having the time of his life, and he's getting all kinds of respect around the country.
Yeah, no doubt. And I tell you what, I felt we didn't have a dog in the hunt, John, so I did feel bad for Kelvin. It was so close for that guy, and he had to be devastated. The entire Houston team had to be. So I just thought it was a hell of a weekend. The games that we saw were just fantastic. It was just a great thing to be there and watch.
It was. I bet it was. It looked like a great venue. I was there. I can't even remember which one it was, about 15 years ago, and I always have a blast in San Antonio. I was there for the coaching school, and I moderated a panel with Jackie Sherrill, Kenny Houston, Wade Phillips, and Michael Bishop, and we're coming back again, and I can't wait because everybody likes it when you can walk places. That's why they like San Antonio, New Orleans, Indianapolis. You don't want to go to L.A. You can't walk anywhere in L.A., and that's why I wish they would just rotate it among those 3 cities.
The great John McClain joining us here on the Blitz 2 weeks from tonight, first round of the NFL draft. Now, Isaiah Bond probably wasn't going to be called in the first round, if so late, maybe a second-round guy. Dealing with some legal issues today, turned himself in on a warrant for sexual assault. He put out a statement saying it's false. But 2 weeks from the draft, how will that change teams looking at Isaiah Bond?
It's a bad look, of course. The timing is terrible. And if you are a team interested in Bond and you have already not checked out every single thing about the guy, you know, if you get him and he turns out to be a bad pick, that's on you. But they'll tell you, oh, boy, now everybody's really going to have to go back and look into it. Why would you have to? You should have been doing all that to begin with. You know, he's fast. He's not as fast as he said he was going to be at the combine, and supposedly ran 2.43s at Texas's pro day. They used to say that the Longhorns 40 was like 35 yards because it was indoors, and they had to have a wall in the back where they would run into it. And but it's not good. It's not a good look because he could get suspended. He could get in trouble, and I guarantee you, his agent is really upset, and he should be. And maybe somebody gets a really good pick with him. But basically, at Alabama and Texas, he's caught some passes, but mainly he's just showed he's fast, and that's not enough. And then when you got some baggage, that's extra bad. I bet he would have gone in the probably second round, maybe third, and but somebody will draft him and just. Will it be then, or will they fall to like the 4th or 5th round?
Well, it's going to be. I can't wait for the draft. 2 weeks from today, by the way, is the first round of the draft. And I'll ask you, John, who have the Texans brought in for visits? Can you see a trend by anybody they've brought in?
Yeah, they brought in offensive linemen. That's shocking. They brought in receivers. That's shocking. And you can bring in 30, and then you can bring in your local guys. So you might have 20 or 30 players from this area you want to talk to. And usually at that point, you're following up on medicals. If they had an issue that came up during the season, or surgery after the season, or the doctors found something at the combine. And I think with a 25th pick, I believe the Texans will take the best offensive lineman who's there, and I think they'll take a receiver in the second round.
You know, it'll be interesting. And next week when we visit a little bit closer to the draft, maybe we have a little more idea of what teams are going to do specifically. The one that really is surprising, normally about 2 weeks out, you start hearing about quarterbacks that are climbing the draft board, guys that weren't talked about weeks ago, but teams are always desperate for a quarterback, yet Shedeur Sanders continues to seemingly slide in every mock draft. Do you ultimately think he might slide to 9 to New Orleans or out of the top 10, or when the draft rolls around in 2 weeks, you know, he'll end up, 3 to the Giants or 2 to Cleveland?
As recently as 2 weeks ago, a lot of people had him going second to Cleveland. Cleveland's quarterback is Kenny Pickett. That's got to get the fans excited. Kenny Pickett to compete against Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. And but if they take Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, I think Hunter's the best prospect in the draft, and they take them, I don't think anybody can complain about it. And maybe we'll see somebody trade up. If the Giants don't take him, there's a good chance Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are gone, because Jameis Winston and whoever the other one was, I forgot the veteran they signed.
Russell Wilson.
They're not going to. Oh, yeah, well, that's a good one. That'll get you in the playoffs. And I think both of them will be fired, and the head coach of the Giants next year will be looking for a quarterback in what's supposed to be a better draft. But the draft begins with the Browns at number 2. And if they were to take Shedeur Sanders, that's going to screw up a lot of picks. And I can't wait for it. I'm like Joe. And, of course, you, Jason. We all get fired up about the draft. I can't wait to see what the Cowboys do. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to the Jaguars at 5 or the Raiders at 6. People have him rated right up there in the top 3 with Hunter and Carter. They don't have Ward or Sanders rated in the top 3. And if he were to fall to the Cowboys, every Cowboy fan should be on his knees thanking God, because that kid's going to be great.
John, in your experience covering the NFL, why do guys, when we get close to the draft like this, there were high prospects and everybody talking about, all of a sudden start to fall a little bit? Is that just NFL teams just, lying, for lack of a better word?
Lying, agents telling media people that ordinarily they'll tell them the truth. And sometimes, it could be the Giants. The Giants could be putting this out there hoping Cleveland doesn't take it. Could be New Orleans putting it out there hoping Cleveland and the Giants don't take him. The bottom line is teams don't pay any attention to this. The media does. The fans do. But teams don't need these mock drafts to know what they're doing. Now, the fact is they all do their own mock drafts, and if they were any better, you wouldn't have so many failures in the draft. And I think most of the kids that bomb out is because of the team. It's not because they didn't have the talent that everybody said. And I hope Shedeur Sanders gets drafted high, and I hope he does really well. I feel bad for the kid. What has he done? I watched 11 games that he played the last 2 years, and I watched him. I thought he was really, really good and smart and accurate and could move when he had to and had terrible protection. You never saw him complaining. The only problem I had with him was showing his Rolex to fans after touchdowns. He's not going to do that in the NFL. And I think it's good they get him away from his daddy. And I think the kid, if he's in the right situation, if he goes somewhere and he learns the system, they fire the coach, bring in new coaches, new system, new players, then that makes the transition more difficult. And Cam Ward, top pick. Brian Callahan could be gone after this season. He's got a new GM. GMs come in, they got head coaches they want to hire. Brian Callahan's not it. So he better make sure they show progress with Cam Ward that makes the GM and the guy who has final say, Chad Brinker, think that, yes, we're moving in the right direction.
You know, you talk about Cam Ward, and I know you do regular shows there in Nashville as well. No chance the Titans don't take Cam. He is going number one, isn't he?
He's going number one. People are like, well, what if somebody makes him a great offer? I said, why would you? He's not a generational talent. He is the best quarterback in this draft. He's a good prospect. And I try to tell everybody how he came out of Columbia High School as a no-star recruit because of the offense, goes to Incarnate Word, gets to throw well enough for Washington State to get him to come up there. And every year he's improved. And then, of course, he's great for Miami. So that the way he's worked in different systems, different players, and different coaches, I think is very attractive to the NFL because he's been able to adjust and improve every year. And I think he's going to end up, if the Titans don't screw it up, they need receivers. They don't have receivers. And Calvin Ridley's the only good one, and he's not all that great. If they don't screw him up, he's going to be a really good quarterback for a long time.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, but you're right. The Titans need a lot of things, John, that's for sure. Just want to ask you about Abdul Carter, because if I'm Cleveland, and I know they need a quarterback, but it'd be very difficult for me to pass up this guy.
Well, it would be because you could have him playing opposite Myles Garrett. And now, he's had foot surgery. Some people worry about that. If you go back to, like, say, 2000 and look at all the pass rushers who were can't-miss prospects, who were picked high, who didn't make it for one reason or another. There's a lot of them. That's why if I'm Cleveland, I'm taking Travis Hunter and using him as either a corner or receiver and then letting him play the other one in some sub packages. And I'm taking him because he can score touchdowns and passing up Carter and letting him go to the – I don't think the Giants will take him because they've got a defensive line that's loaded. So he would fall to number 4. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be intriguing. And it could all be screwed up by the Browns with the second pick.
Going to be interesting to see. We'll talk more about it next Thursday, John. Always appreciate it. Make sure you follow John on Twitter at McLean_on_NFL. John, back to the Masters, my friend.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much, as always.
Appreciate it. The great John McLean on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Draft's going to be fun this year. It always is, but I can't wait. I love the NFL draft.
I do too, and I love seeing the city moving forward. Some news on the new Missions ballpark. We'll give you the details coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Sam has his entire spring line on display right now. So if you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, T-shirt, screen printed, go see Sam. Fiesta gets going here soon. You still need some shirts made, hats made, go see Sam. In fact, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, and all the popular cap brands like the Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, and he has them in stock. All the big name brands on your shirts like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small, and all items do come with a warranty. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Pharmacy, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You know, tomorrow on the show, we're going to, on this show, on the Morning Huddle, over on KTSA, we're doing a huge drive, a radiothon for the Puppy Food Bank, trying to raise a lot of money. We'll have a celebrity in the building as well. So that's why you saw the boss in here cleaning things up.
Yeah.
John O'Hurley.
Seinfeld fame.
Yeah, Elaine's boss.
Among other things. Yeah. He'll be here, and he's got a great voice, this guy.
He does.
Yeah, so he's like their national spokesperson or something to that effect, I think. But looking forward to meeting this guy, and it's gonna be a fun day around in the entire radio station tomorrow.
Always fun when you do community events like this. So apparently there'll be puppies in the building too.
Oh, nice! Wow. Huh. Okay.
According to KSAT, San Antonio City Council has approved the creation of a new development district that would own and operate a new downtown baseball stadium for the San Antonio Missions. It's the San Pedro Creek Development Authority. Will be a joint effort of the city, Bexar County, and the developer Weston Urban. City says the authority's board of directors would include the mayor, the city manager, and the chief financial officer. The city approved a memorandum of understanding in September of 2024 with Bexar County and Weston Urban to move forward with the project. The proposed $160 million stadium would sit downtown San Antonio along the stretch of the San Pedro Creek near Fox Tech High School. Plan also includes the development of hotels and apartments around the park that would generate an anticipated $1 billion in tax revenue.
Now, see, that gives me a little bit of a window into when we can expect something, I guess, right? If they signed a memorandum of understanding in September.
Yep.
So what has it been, about 6 months?
Yep.
We can't wait 6 months on Project Marvel.
$160 million stadium. And, you figure out the financing. Ballpark is slated to be completed in time for opening day of 2028.
All right.
So the next step has been approved.
Okay.
Progress.
Moving along. That's good. And I'm happy for the Missions. And I'm happy for Missions baseball fans because you're going to have a nice place to come and enjoy a little Missions baseball.
Absolutely. And we're going to have Missions tickets to give away pretty soon here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our first $2 Tuesday brought to you by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, I believe, is next week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Have some tickets.
Good. To
give away.
I'm happy to hear that there is progress made and that these things can move along and get done. So, they got that done, and now it's time for everybody to get together and start the push on Project Marvel. And get this thing going and let the folks get out to the ballot box and vote on it and see what they can do, because I think it's going to be outstanding. I'm happy that the city is thinking that we're getting this stuff done.
You know what I find really, really cool in this aspect, the Missions do need a new stadium, and the progress they're doing that, and with Project Marvel. And look, I know there's a lot of unanswered questions at this point. I'm going to trust if you're listening to a sports radio show, you're pro whatever they're going to do. Yes, there's going to be taxes. The vast majority, I believe, will be on tourists. But we all want these things. If you're listening to sports radio, I'm going to guess you want a venue to go there. I'm sure there's going to be a couple that, because there's always those people. But in reality, you think about the newness that appears to be on the way, whether you're talking about the new stadium for the Missions, the new Wemby Center, how much that will change everything downtown. And you think about the advantages, because there's going to be somebody, well, why don't we have it on the north side? Why don't we have it on, either I-10 or up to, downtown kind of brings everybody together.
It does.
And both of these are down there. It's not a one-sided town versus the other. Anytime you go anywhere downtown, it just brings everybody together.
And look, as much as we are just coming off of the Final Four weekend, you update the Alamo Dome as well. If that's part of the project, and it appears that it is, all the publicity this city received over the weekend between the Final Four and the Valero Texas Open was incredible. Not to mention all the money that was pumped into this city over the weekend with the two events that we had. So the NCAA wants some improvements to the Alamo Dome. That's part of the project. We can get another one here. This city should be in that mix on a regular basis. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Then you get a new Wemby Center. Who knows? Then maybe an NBA All-Star game comes back to San Antonio. That hasn't happened here since 1996. So all of those things are positives for this city moving forward from a publicity standpoint and a money intake standpoint.
And we would get an all-star game. And for those of you that are unaware, one of the reasons that we haven't had an all-star game since 1996, when Brent Berry won the Slam Dunk Championship, is they played in the Alamo Dome then. That's owned by the city. Now the Spurs play in the Frost Bank Center, which is Bexar County. The rodeo's in town. And because the Spurs play in a county-owned facility, they can't just say, all right, let's have a one-off all-star game at a city deal. I know they made the exception for the game in the Alamo Dome as a celebration. That was a one-off, but they wouldn't do an event like that. We would get another all-star game, even though we'll crap all over watching them because, well, they kind of suck, but everything that goes with hosting the game and the parties and the events and all that would still be here or could come back to San Antonio, which is even more revenue for the city and the businesses that are in the area.
Look, I mean, San Antonio is a growing city, and to continue that growth, you need to modernize, basically. You need to upgrade, and that's exactly what this whole Project Marvel is. The Mission Stadium, moving forward, that as well. Downtown should be the hub for sports. It is in most cities. It just seems like a no-brainer, and I really hope that we get some details from the Spurs or whomever's doing this sooner rather than later so we can start talking it up because it's time.
Now, as we're watching the Masters, there was a story earlier, an amateur that is playing in the Masters tournament, two-time All-American from Arizona State. And he's making some news today, not for his play, but he had to pee. And he peed on the golf course, into a creek, mind you.
Behind a bridge.
But no cell phone, so nobody took video of this. But apparently when he zipped it up, he got a standing ovation.
Was it a standing ovation?
I don't know. He got applause.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a standing ovation.
I don't
know if it was that impressive.
I mean, I don't know. The kid was asked about it, and he answered questions about, about peeing on Augusta.
Well, I completely forgot that we had those restrooms on the left of the tee box.
Oh, okay. On the 13th tee.
Yes, yeah, correct. And then I'm like, I really need to pee. Didn't really know where to go, and since JT had an issue around the green, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sneak here in the river. Probably the people would not see me that much, and then they clap for me. Probably one of the claps that I really got today, like real loud. So that was kind of funny.
Are you concerned that there might be any blowback from that at all? Or I mean, obviously they did see you, right?
Yeah, they saw me. They saw me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not embarrassing at all for me. So if I had to do it again, I would do it again.
Do it again. Well, I haven't seen anything, so obviously the guy hasn't gotten in trouble that we're aware of. There have been no reports of that. I think, you let that go and say don't do it again.
But the rules at Augusta National make no sense. Now, every golfer out here is at one point or another peed on the golf course. You know, Monday there will be a lot of guys that are going to find a bush out at the Golf Club of Texas during our golf tournament, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 1 in, 1 out. We all understand how it works. But at Augusta National, a golfer in the middle of a tournament can pee on the course in front of people, yet his coach was escorted off the property for wearing shorts. So you can pee. You can whip it out and pee, but you can't wear short pants.
Well, it sounds like you want this guy to get in trouble just to prove a point, that peeing is just as bad as wearing shorts.
Well, typically it's worse in most cases.
I'm just saying. You know, you want the guy to get in trouble, Jason, and I'm really surprised.
He's
by
an
that.
Arizona State Sun Devil. He's fine.
I'm really surprised.
It just makes no sense. I was worried he was going to get disqualified because he peed at Augusta.
He's an amateur anyway. He can't win any money.
Dude, do you know how much NIL he's going to get out of this thing? I mean, this might work into a Depends deal for him. Or what's some of the stuff that Emmitt Smith is promoting? I mean,
I don't know. What?
There might be some. There could be an endorsement opportunity. He might be doing commercials for dude wipes before it's all said and done.
Well, he didn't poo.
No, but I mean, when you got to go, you got to go.
Well, that's very true. Look, the guy, he didn't know. I will guarantee you somebody said, look, dude, we're going to let this go, but don't do it again. It's just the way that they are there. And so they're not
Unless you're in shorts.
They're not going to make a big deal out of it. And
I mean, the golf coach wasn't allowed to go change and come back. He was told, you're done for the day. You can come back tomorrow if you're dressed properly.
Well, there you go. You know the rules, and he knows the rules.
He knows the rules.
So it's his own fault.
Mm-hmm. You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's
come out to the Hangar Bar. That's open to everybody, including all the prizes. Beer Santa will be there. It's going to be a great time Monday at the Hangar Bar at Petranco as we wrap up our sold-out Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas. What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, online at samsburgerjoint.com.
Now, I don't know if we check this or not, but I trust Robert on our YouTube page. Says the Spasmatics are playing at the Fort Sam Open House. Free and open to the public, but he doesn't say what day.
Well, free and open to the public on Fort Sam means you got to be able to get on base.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Appreciate the heads up.
Yeah,
look, we say all the time, if you got a band, you got a gig, something's going on, let us know. Or let Pledge know. He puts this together. So if he missed something, blame Pledge.
Yep, we all blame Pledge.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Minnesota and Memphis starting at 8 o'clock tonight here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Don't forget we're doing that big Puppy Food Bank Radiothon tomorrow, starting with the boys on the Morning Huddle from 6 to 10 and here on the Blitz tomorrow afternoon. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville.